Assemble the accused! Bear witness to their trials! The time of the Inquisition is now at hand. Putting pop culture to the rack, the Inquisition calls to account the events of the week, rooting out heresy wherever it is found. I am Grand Inquisitor Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and joining me for tonight's torture is Nerdrotic Channel's Grand Inquisitor, Gary Beekler. Gary, it is good to see you, my friend. How are you?
How do the Cardinals do it? The Pope?
Exactly. I love that. It's a good way.
Yeah. Bring it up. Hey, I'm good. There's plenty to talk about. Actually, there's like two subjects that'll probably take us through the night. I am really excited about this new Star Trek character because I think it rivals Star Trek Discovery's Plank of Wood. I think they have a rival now in a rock. I'm looking forward to Shrubberies showing up in Doctor Who. That'll probably be the next Doctor. Will be a non-binary Shrubbery who is known as Brush Them or something. And that's what we have to look forward to with pop culture and entertainment from now on. It's just abstract idiocy.
Yeah, this is what happens when people who have absolutely no business whatsoever writing science fiction try to write science fiction. You get basically a rock named Geode piloting a vessel called Vessel. This is just one of the worst things I've ever heard. I mean, we laugh about it, but holy shit. I mean, honestly, what does it say? What does it say about the state of Disney and of civilization itself when literacy, creativity, craftsmanship has fallen so low that this would actually be something that they were asking people to buy? Is this some fucking kiddie show? I mean, is it like a little and here's Rock, kids? His name is Geode. Is it going to be like they're going to crack open Geode and explain how, crystals form? And although it's really not a geode, it's just a rock. So it's even a misnamed rock.
Yeah. It's like granite, and no, I mean, it's creative. We have achieved peak creative bankruptcy. I mean, that's where we're at. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall at the Disney Story Group or for any of those meetings. Anyway, I'm sure there's just some genius level intellect in there, throwing ideas around. We haven't even gotten our double dinosaurs yet. Our double diversity dinosaurs. It was double diversity and one dinosaur, but I'm sure it's on its way. But I mean, this is what they follow up firing Gina Carano with. I would say Gina Carano has won at this point. He might have actually, I didn't think this would bring down, firing Gina Carano definitely hurt Disney. I'm thinking paper cut at the most, a drop of blood at the most. But as time goes on and you see what they're actually presenting now, it's like, oh my God, it's such an anomaly that Jon Favreau made a halfway decent The Mandalorian, and that's debatable. That is absolutely debatable. And whatever problems it has, I don't really blame him. I'm sure he's, in shark infested waters there.
Oh yes. You heard what happened to Cameron Pashaw when he inadvertently seemed to verify my reporting when I reported that Jon Favreau privately, whenever there's a Kathleen Kennedy ally on the set or something, says, shh, the eye of Sauron is upon us. And he repeated that and boom, he got canceled on Twitter.
He got taken down on Twitter. Why'd they take him down?
He believes that it had something to do with the fact that he mentioned that story about the Eye of Sauron, and that they then tried to say that Disney tried to say he was not a real person. He was he was a spam account, despite the fact he's been on Twitter for 10 years. This is a time of pure madness, Gary. Pure madness.
It really is. That's really
bizarre. It is extremely weird. You just look puzzled It is
Yeah.
incredibly strange.
I just don't know how like does Disney have power over Twitter now? I mean,
I have no idea.
Jerking each other off at this? I mean, like I can believe anything now. Like after 2020, I'm open to absolutely anything.
Yeah.
So that kind of was before, but like just a lot of confirmation on a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Weird.
Things are really weird, man. Really weird these days. And yeah.
Shit, we got a good Superman show on CW. That should say it right there.
That is weird. I'm gonna have to start watching it. I've just still not gotten in the habit, and just tuning into CW gives me trauma at this point. But you know what? It's definitely deserves a look. I'm gonna give it a look.
At least for the first 2 episodes. I mean, it's probably going to be a trap, and it'll probably disappoint. But yeah,
It's a trap.
I'm gonna probably do a video on it because I think we should all at least check it out because this is kind of what we've been asking for. Again,
Yeah.
I don't think they are going to stick with this, and it's CW, but at least in the beginning, like this is what we've been asking for, and it's had a pretty good response. It broke a streaming record for CW, according to comicbook.com. So I don't know about that, but yeah, there's good there, and we almost had something good with WandaVision, which I guess we can we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're gonna get through this Star Wars stuff because I want to watch the video again. Because my favorite part isn't even when they announce Geode. It's when he rides a vessel called Vessel. He occupies he occupies a part of space called Space. He's from a planet called Planet. Wears pants called Pants. I mean, it's like what was it? I'm blanking on his name now. Brick Tamlin from I Love Lamp. It sounds like he just he scripted a Star Wars story.
Yeah, but that's a good point. You've got Rock, Geode, and then you've got Plank, Mikey Spock, and it's just a trend. I think I just released a video late today about Geode, and in that video I made the point that basically these Twitter types these days, they're not even millennials. I don't know. They're like Gen Null is what I like to call them. And they like to see themselves on screen because they're narcissists. And so I think these companies are falling over themselves, trying to find something as blank and devoid of humor and personality as their target audience is. A Plank almost got it, but Plank is a lot more active than a lot of these people. Now they've got Geode, and Geode I think might be just the perfect point of identification for SJW, NPC, MOUSEs.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard this, it took me a minute. I'm like, what? Jeremy was telling me, what the fuck are you talking about? A rock? And they're all, no, it's a rock. I'm a what? A rock? Like a rock? And they're all, yes. And I just, wow. I mean, I'm actually impressed by the stupidity of this, and they should be so embarrassed, and they're probably not. I mean, Disney has been running on this narrative that they're just, especially Disney Star Wars, that they're immortal, like they're gonna survive everything. No, again, you had an inexplicable chance on December 18th of last year. You had everybody's attention from lockdown. Quite frankly, you had probably the most popular. They had the most popular streaming show of last year with no competition, like none. Wonder Woman hadn't come out yet, and it sucked. And there was no movies out, so people were starved for entertainment. And they thought The Mandalorian was probably a decent, safe place to go. And there was a great payoff at the end for a lot of people. Again, not for me, but for a lot of people. And then for a very brief moment, you had everybody's attention, and all you had to do was fucking nothing. Shut up, make your shows, don't say anything. But no, they decided to take that moment. They delayed the High Republic so they could ride that wave of quote unquote success and promote it. That's what they decided to follow up. So I mean, that obviously sounds like it came from the top, because anybody with any sense of marketing would go, yeah, we want to promote our next thing, but it has to be in line with our brand. And their brand is so fucked up right now that like there are two completely separate Star Warses within Star Wars. There's Jon Favreau Star Wars, as you've said, and then there's Kathleen Kennedy's. Now, whether they're warring or it's just two different messages, whatever it is, they don't even look alike, not even close. So why would you follow it up with that? It makes no sense. You end up taking away, and that's just with presenting this shit. That's not even talking about the Pablo Hidalgo thing and everything that happened afterwards, hiring the two racists. It's done. They don't get another chance. They're not going to get another chance. They're going to come out with the Boba Fett show. That's going to be 20, 25 minutes of blandness. Sorry, but I mean, I'm forgetting the guy's name. The actor who plays Boba Fett, he's a great actor. I don't think he can carry a show. He doesn't have the kind of presence to carry a show. So what's it going to be? May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. playing May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Star Wars. There's nothing about that sounds exciting to me. You don't have a Baby Yoda hook. I think they've just blown it, and we're gonna, peak Star Wars is way behind us. It's in the rear view here. So it just plays out over time, and it's gonna last for a few years, but in a decade, do you think this shit is still gonna they're still gonna be able to afford this crap? I doubt it.
No, man, they really screwed the pooch. They really had something going. I mean, I think I liked it better than you did. I thought that, season 1 of Mandalorian was pretty good, all told. It really built, and towards the end, it was really firing. And then I thought season 2 kind of was a little lackluster. It started out kind of boring to me, honestly. But then again, towards the end, it really, picked up and then hit that high water mark with Luke Skywalker. But firing Gina Carano now has completely hosed that progress. And now, I don't know, man. I think Geode may be a gift from God, honestly, because that this came out now, dude. That this came out now, when surely they're talking about, they've got to be debating in Disney whether or not to keep Kennedy around, or how to placate her, or how to do the least amount of damage, negotiating whatever path they have to take with her. This has got to hurt. This has really got to go ahead and make them perk up and say, a rock? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you telling me it's a rock? I mean, Walt Disney, God bless him. He had a rat. He made a rat a character, but a rock on a vessel named Vessel? Geode. They can't even name him like Kafar or anything like cool science fiction name. It's fucking Geode, and he's not even a Geode. He's clearly not a Geode. Geodes are like oval and round, and they have like a kind of a center with crystals. That thing just fucking looks like, I don't know, it looks like a slab of shale.
Yeah. Well, it looks, I posted on Twitter. It just looks like a piece of Stonehenge. I mean, we'll get back to this article, but let's watch the video because it's funny. I
haven't actually seen the video. So this will be good.
You heard the whole story behind it, right? I think it was, I want to give proper credit on this one. I think Star Wars girl, I think Anna, caught this on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to post it on YouTube. Right?
I wonder why.
I know.
I need to get on Instagram. The people are slacking over there. I need to get over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like Green Lantern. It's by, in brightest day and darkest night, no piece of shit shall escape my sight. I got to be on Instagram now. See, now that they're starting to run, they can run, but they can't hide.
Can't hide. Nope. Well, yeah. So she caught that, and I guess they removed it there immediately. So people mirrored it or whatever. But it's not going to end, Disney. I mean, you don't understand fandom. You've never understood fandom. And that's why when I was watching The Mandalorian, right, I thought the first season was to me the better than the second season. But what was always in the back of my mind, what I guess because I'm jaded, I couldn't let go. Oh, I don't know, the entire 2 years before The Mandalorian came out and what Disney did to fandom. I didn't forget that they created this Russian bot narrative. They're the ones who really suggested out there that this might be, we're just trolls, we're a minority, we're ists and phobes. These were Disney employees saying these things. This wasn't just the access media who was perfectly willing to suck on their knob for a crumb of pussy, but it was Disney employees, and for years. So that's something I couldn't quite forget. And I think Gina Carano getting fired is right in line with Disney Star Wars. That's exactly what they do. I mean, I was hoping that things were different and that fans could enjoy Star Wars and we can get back to just entertainment. Cause I don't want to give up on entertainment. I like entertainment. And I know you do. I love Star Wars. I love science fiction. I love nerdy stuff, obviously. And I want to keep liking it. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to shut up about this because I love this stuff. I'm a lifelong nerd. You're a lifelong nerd. Most of you in here are. And if you're not, you don't have to be lifelong. It's cool.
It is the stuff of life to us. This is not a hobby. This is not just a preference. This is the way we're made, man. I mean, it's not like I ever decided, hey, I'm going to sit down and be a geek. It's kind of like I know that people don't choose their sexual orientation because when I was a little kid, I would steal my dad's Playboys and have a reaction to them before I even understood what girls are for, so it was not a conscious choice. And in the same regard, when I was a kid, I was, obsessed with Batman, obsessed with the Fantastic Four and Captain Kirk. And, again, it's not like somebody sat me down and said, now, boy, you can either go ahead and have a respectable life selling propane and propane accessories, or you can go over to the dork side and watch all that Star Trek crap. What's it going to be? I want to be a geek. It didn't happen like that. It's just life. So we are fighting, in a sense, for our lifestyle, for our passion, for the things that define us. In a large way, all these tales, all these myths, these characters, they define us, Gary. And it's not like we have a choice. We can't simply say, okay, I guess I'll go ahead and get interested in law or medicine. No, that die is cast. That 20-sided die with a skull for a 1 is cast.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. I mean, I had a really good dad. I had a good dad. He wasn't perfect, but I mean, I started learning right and wrong from Captain James T. Kirk. That was and freaking Batman, like you and George Reeves Superman. That's what I was watching. And that's what started, formulating all of that. And yeah, I don't know. I connected with I can't explain. The first comic book I bought was 10 miles to the west, San Marcos 7-Eleven on Rancho Santa Fe Road. I got Marvel Team Up 42, Spider-Man and Vision. I remember it clear as day. And I was like 5 or 6, bought it for 25 cents and read that book. And like, there's something that happened, I've just leafed through it and it changed my life. And that's that I just felt at home. That's fine. And what the powers that be have recognized is that's where you get to a culture. That's where you get to kids. So that's why they have started infiltrating. But, the biggest difference is when we were reading that stuff, while it was of its time and we have evolved since then, that for me, it's been, a few decades, but it never taught me to hate anything. It never taught me that this group of human beings are bad. But that's what our new stuff, thankfully, it's absolutely failing at reaching our kids, like comic books and stuff. The kids aren't watching this shit. I was just doing a little research on a Doctor Who video I'm doing, and I can give you a little spoiler. I talked to my guy, my one inside guy there, and I mean, this isn't going to shock anyone. Doctor Who's audience is old, very old. Like the majority of their audience is above 35. They have completely lost their younger audience. It's at the lowest level percentage wise as it's ever been while it's airing. And we learned today that Funko, which is the last toy company that's leasing Doctor Who stuff, has let it go.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
And imagine what it's like for other franchises. I mean, Doctor's the worst case scenario, but and Star Wars is probably healthy. It's healthier than Star Trek and Doctor Who, but not by much, not now. And the residual effects from Gina Carano, we're not going to know. I mean, fortunately for Disney, they don't have a movie being released in the theaters anytime soon, because I think we would have a return to Solo. And as a matter of fact, whatever movie they release is probably not going to do that well. I mean, it's going to be this original, Rogue Squadron by Patty Jenkins. So good luck with that. Good luck. Hopefully she doesn't write it. But let's hear from the geniuses at Disney Star Wars, the Let's Get High Republic.
The brain trust itself?
Brain trust.
Centuries before the rise of the Empire, prosperity, pioneering, and adventure marked the era of the High Republic. Leox Joss is the eccentric pilot of a vessel known simply as the Vessel.
And you do know that Leo X Gaiassi is Leo the 10th is gay, which is a shot at I guess religious people. That's code there. So everything about this sucks. Everything about this sucks so far. Even the voice of the narrator, who's very smug and pleased, and obviously, the kind of person that, I don't know them, but you could just hear it in their voice, that they're down with all this shit.
Oh, well, I have an explanation that it's not exclusively mine, why Disney is doing what they're doing. I slowed this down because I just need to hear that one more time. Hang on.
Yes, please.
Leox Jossi is the eccentric pilot of a vessel known simply as the Vessel.
Oh,
Co-pilot.
That is fucking awful. I'm just telling you, it's fucking awful.
The Vessel.
The Vessel.
And
simply. What is she trying to be like? Zsa Zsa fucking Gabor on Xanax or something? What?
Maybe that would be far more entertaining, to be honest with you.
It would be.
The Vessel, co-piloted by Appy Hollow and navigated by Geode, who appears to be a rock. Leox is
who appears, I mean, they can't even write this right. Appears to be a rock. What is he, a rock or not? I mean, are we trying to be ambiguous about this?
I think they're being cagey. Are they being cagey? Now the problem is, you see, if there's more to old Geode's story, forget it. The story's in cement now. The fans will always be mocking this character.
What are Geode's pronouns? That's all I want to know. And why does Leo look like Comics Division? Look at that little fuzz on his hair. That's very Comics Division. There you go.
Charming rogue from the frontier. When a group of Jedi seek transportation to the Outer Rim, Leo.
She said rim.
Outer rim job there.
The disaster strikes as
Leo Gaiassi. Leo X Gaiassi is looking for rim jobs, folks. Leo X Gaiassi is looking for rim jobs. So hey, if you've got a rim job, go over and see Leo. He's Gaiassi.
Across hyperspace threatens to tear the vessel apart, but it'll take more than a galaxy-wide disaster to fray Leox's go-with-the-flow out.
He's like, wee! Look at his expression, like, dude, oh, I haven't had a rim job like this in ages.
and and look at the emotion of what's her name of Stunning and Brave. I don't know what her name is. That's about the emotional range they write black characters at Disney.
Oh, absolutely. You can't have an expression because, that's committing one way or another. It has to be pretty much blank, pretty much just gender neutral. Whereas this guy looks like, I don't know, Cohen the Barbarian or something. He's just kind of mild. He's trying real hard to look cool. Even went down to Padre Island on spring break and bought a couple of righteous beads from some dude. It's what is that? And then you've got Geode behind them. Looks kind of like a chair or a door, but no, that's Geode. And you know what Guy Assy is wearing around his neck there? Maybe you can't. What's on the necklace is a chip off the old block.
Oh, maybe that's a descendant of Geode. Yeah, maybe it's like I don't know. Maybe
he's carrying Geode's child.
Geode's child. Yeah.
He's growing Geode's child around his manly chestal area.
Would Lando Calrissian fuck it? That's all I want to know.
Yes. Well, that's what that hole is. Right over her shoulder. You see that little hole there? That's Lando shaped. Y'all didn't know that, but that's Lando shaped. In fact, it cracked it. It cracked it wide open.
Oh,
that's right. All those years drinking Colt 45 malt liquor gave him the impetus.
We've gotten so jaded with Star Wars. Like the Leo is gay name would be a scandal at one point in time, but now it's just another thing Disney Star Wars does. And this is just another botched Kathleen Kennedy production, which is all we get from Disney Star Wars now. And, I said at my members stream, this morning is, don't you think she looks tired? I think like the most incompetent executive in the history of Hollywood. Like, go back to, even the worst coke snorting producers, at least they got shit done once in a while. At least, going to the drug dealer and procuring some coke is doing something. It's actually succeeding at something. She can't even say that.
No, she can't. I tell you, she is even worse than the clown that thought it would be a great idea to make a movie about Battleship, the game. And why is he better than she is? When he got done with it, the movie sucked, but Battleship was undamaged. The Battleship franchise is still going. People still play Battleship. What about Star Wars? Can't say the same about Star Wars. Star Wars is not undamaged.
I watched a video on Twitter. I'm sorry, I don't know who it's from. By the way, Eric K., thank you for sending me this video. I asked him to send it to me, and he did. He's a good guy, Eric K., the mod. And they were showing a Toys R Us in Japan, and the only Star Wars stuff they had was just a couple of Legos things. That was it. In a packed Toys R Us, Marvel stuff everywhere. I don't know how much longer that's going to be, but and we'll get to that. But this is, the
expression on his face is so fucking.
He's getting pegged.
It's like, where is Geode's hand?
Yeah. Like, what is he sitting on? Doesn't look comfortable.
He's sitting on, I tell you what, this is what happens when you take for granted that Geode can't do you any harm back there because he doesn't have any hands. Stuff can happen. Stuff can happen. From one crack to another.
I know.
That his crack is leading right down to Leo Gaiassi's crack. So you look at that. That's not an accident. I think that there is a roadmap.
If a rock is intelligent, okay, I don't know how a rock can be intelligent, but if it's intelligent, it's immensely old. If you want to get nerdy about this, to form a rock, we're talking especially granite, couple of million years minimum, right? So it's been around so is it like a Baby Yoda situation where it's a baby for like 100,000 years? Who takes care of it? How does that even work? In all seriousness, this is how franchises fall apart when you stop taking the franchise seriously. And these are people who, like Doomcock said, who just don't give a fuck. They never did. They just want Star Wars on their resume. And I hate to break this to you. You don't have Star Wars on your resume. Star Wars is dead. You have Disney Star Wars on your resume. And I don't know if that's going to help you in the future. For one, you're going to be known to work for a company that supports cancel culture. So they're always, if I saw a resume from somebody from Disney Star Wars, I'd think twice about hiring them. I'm like, is this people?
I wouldn't hire them. I'd have to talk to them. I'd have to know for sure that they were Lucas loyalists, and they'd have to have proof that, they were not down with this garbage. Because, I don't need that shit. I don't need that shit at all.
You leak shit to the press. I wouldn't trust you as far as I could fucking throw you.
No.
So hell no. And I know they don't pay shit at Lucasfilm, and I doubt it's gotten better with Disney.
Really?
Oh yeah. There was a job. I had a job there. I interviewed twice, went to the ranch. This was right when I got back from Technicolor in LA, and because I hated LA so much, I left. And I was kind of in between, like, do I want to just go back to the comic store full time, or do I want to keep doing the running it and having a job? Because I needed to pay my bills because of the recession. Things weren't going great. Sure. So I took this job, and it was an audio archivist, and it was with a special kind of tape. It's an ancient tape that they didn't really use that I learned at Technicolor. Mm-hmm. So they wanted me to do that to back up all their audio stuff. But it was $15 an hour.
Oh my God. Oh no.
I was thinking about it. And I'm like, because I'm like, oh, it's Lucasfilm though. It's like, but then ultimately I'm like, who gives a fuck if it's Lucasfilm? It's $15 an hour. I mean, there's people at In-N-Out, down at making more night, and that's good.
Yes, dude. That's the thing, is that, look, the game industry and the movie industry all rely on that kind of mystique to rope in young people just starting out who, look at like, oh, wow, 18,000 a year is perfectly fine. It's Lucasfilm. It's the magic. Oh, look, it's EA. Oh, it's, it's Bethesda. And they go there and they exploit the hell out of them at the game companies anyway. Like people are sleeping over and putting in 50, 60, 70 hour weeks and shit for peanuts. That's showbiz for you, gang.
Yeah, I worked that night shift at Technicolor at the building on Hollywood Way. It's right across from John Wayne Airport. And, I worked the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift because nobody wanted it. And I was fine with it. But the building was packed. And we worked right under Insomnia Games. And that building was packed all night, like at 3 a.m. You go out, had a cigarette. Yeah, I smoked back then. And it's like it's during the day. And they weren't paying those people shit. They weren't, I was doing okay at Technicolor, but not great considering what we were doing.
Sure. Yeah. And the cost of living out there. I mean, $15 an hour over there is not good.
Well, at Technicolor, I can tell you what I was making. At Technicolor, I was making $22 an hour. $22 an hour, but I was making like crazy overtime. I'm forgetting his last name. His first name was Gary. I rented a house, right, with a bunch of it was just a bunch of people who worked in Hollywood. So we rented this big house, and I had a room there. And the guy who rented the house to me, who was the head rentee there, was a writer, was a writer on a sitcom. Big Bang was a writer for Big Bang Theory, and he had to rent a room.
Are you shitting me?
He was a low-level writer. His name was Gary something. And he started out just helping out the writers, and then he rose up and did writing for the fucking Big Bang Theory, and he was renting a room off a Hollywood Way, or no, Disney Way, whatever the damn road Disney's on, because Deluxe was on the other side. People who Burbank know what I'm talking about. It was a decade ago, I forgot, but I liked Burbank. It was a nice place. It's a really cool place to live, but
no, I had stomping grounds down there for a while.
Yeah. Oh God, there's good hobby shopping down there.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's finish this up.
Piloting, Affy's efficient repairs, and Geode's quick response. The vessel.
wait, whoa. Geode's quick response. Now, rocks are not known for their quickness unless somebody really strong throws them.
So Geode's the navigator. Is that correct?
Yes. And in my video today that I did, Harvey asked the question, and how does Geode navigate without any hands? And I said, badly.
Yeah.
He can't grip the steering wheel, and it's just
can't point.
He can't point. He really can't sound the alarm. There's Klingons off the starboard bow. No. He's very taciturn. He's very taciturn, is Geode. Not very excitable.
No.
Affy's efficient repairs and Geode's quick response. The vessel safely exits hyperspace.
Woo!
In the middle of nowhere.
Are those like Geode's brothers and sisters around them right there?
With the
Sadly, yes. Sadly.
This is scorching, ferrying immigrants to the frontier. Native pirates plot against these outsiders.
Oh, is there like an immigration allegory here somewhere? Yeah, I like. There's just keep making stuff like this. Star Wars will be deader and dead in a matter of no time. That's. I mean,
it's pretty much dead, man. It's pretty much dead. They just keep slamming it and slamming it and slamming it, hurting it, cutting up the corpse, selling the organs to China. It's a dead duck, Jim.
Yeah, I'm not understanding. Do we get any specs on Geode? Dark gray rounded edges. The narration reads, standing in a corner of his cockpit was a rock. It continues, about as tall and slightly wider than Reith himself, dark gray with rounded edges and a flinty, flaky surface, impressive as rocks went, but still, it's just a rock, wasn't it? Reith frowned. Sure, this was some kind of weird joke. It's no joke. It's no joke, Gyasi explains. It's a Vintian from Vint.
Oh, and this is good. Geode's a nickname, by the way. Turns out you can't pronounce his name correctly unless you don't have a mouth. In which case, how do you pronounce it at all?
How do you pronounce anything without a mouth? Well, okay, maybe you should.
Talking out your ass, I guess.
Yeah. Gray later writes, is it Leox? Really, it's Leox cackled as he began leading them from the cockpit into the ship. Says, yeah, you just wait. But I don't want to give you fellas the wrong idea. Geode's a wild man for sure. But when it comes to steering the ship, he's all business.
Now follow me. We've got a rim job waiting.
Oh my God. Solid, you might say. Very well. Let's get a look at our bunks. Oh boy. And then Leo says, there's only one bunk. Ha.
That's right.
Hey,
I will be your mattress tonight. And I'm bumpy.
Fabulous. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. Star Wars.
This is Kathleen Kennedy's leadership right here. This is Kathleen Kennedy. This is the Lucasfilm Story Group. This is why Disney investors ought to be losing sleep, knowing that their $4 billion+ investment is going right down the toilet. In fact, it's gone down the toilet. It's swirling already.
Well, yeah, any hopes of trying to make something even close to what George Lucas intended, or at least to feel like George Lucas, which The Mandalorian was, are gone now, like are absolutely gone. I'd say for me, I mean, without knowing shit, Jon Favreau, the clock is ticking on that dude. He'll stick around. He'll see his series take off and he'll probably find something better to do. I mean, why would you want to work under this? I mean, especially like, you make things to create, and it's great to have Star Wars and to do it for fun. But Jon Favreau's been through this already. He started out the MCU and it was a fun place until it wasn't a real fun place anymore. And, he made one dud movie, which wasn't all his fault, took a bunch of the blame, and all he did was produce. I mean, I'm completely puzzled why Jon Favreau has not made another MCU film. Just because of what he did, a lackluster Iron Man 2, which isn't like as horrible as everybody. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't think he made Iron Man, for fuck's sake. He helped start it. So why wasn't he there? Was it Kevin Feige? Was it the politics? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't great. I didn't like it very much, and I've never wanted to rewatch it. But on the other hand, way better than a lot of the shit that Disney did with Star Wars. I mean, there's no comparison. I could watch Iron Man 2 again and not, I mean, I didn't hate it passionately. I was just like, well, this is kind of a mess, but listen, I didn't know what a mess was back then.
Yeah. I was looking for a better picture of Geode, but I guess we don't have it. That's fine. No, the reality of it, the reality of the situation is Star Wars is lame now. It's lame. It's like, Star Wars used to be cool. It used to be cool to us nerds, but it's like I mean, I think that I talked about this in my member stream. I think the best course of action is to resurrect about 10,000 1980s jocks, send them down to Lucasfilm and give everyone wedgies and swirlies because they all fucking deserve it. You all deserve to be thrown into trash cans and treated like the nerds from back then, because you've made Star Wars as lame as those jocks thought it was back then. Except now you would deserve it. You deserve it. It's like, I wouldn't want, I feel bad for like legit Star Wars theory and Echo Base. These are like good guys who just want to record, talk about Star Wars, and you certainly can talk about the old stuff, but like, this is your future. Like, this is what's winning right now. Kathleen Kennedy is winning, and she is going to take out anything that gets in her way, even if it's to the detriment of Lucasfilm. I mean, she must feel safe as fuck. And that's, I'm almost speechless how fucking cringe this is.
It's mind blowing. When people told me it was a rock, I didn't believe. I was like, yeah. And when I saw the artwork, I thought, okay, somebody rigged up that card. It's very funny. But no, they were absolutely serious. These people have no sense whatsoever. They don't even, forget about knowing Star Wars. They don't even know what narrative is. They don't even understand what makes a great story, great characters. Jesus, God, that's just one of the worst things. One of the worst ideas I've ever seen.
Yeah. And it's the one thing that, like, even if you take on a franchise and you just make a bad movie, but you gave it your best shot, there's always that one little tangible that's missing. And this happens most of the time. And that tangible is the material you've decided to adapt. The creative did not take it seriously enough, did not believe in it enough. And they just took it as a job. Nerds who like Marvel Comics, nerds who like Star Wars, like, it's like history to them. It's beyond entertainment. It's like history. And that's the approach that Peter Jackson took with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He wanted to film it like it's historical, taking it that seriously. And it fucking worked. And it doesn't work all the time, but like, that's how seriously we take it. Like, this could be a real world. This stuff could happen. So, like, tongue in cheek works for some things, certainly, like, Deadpool, but we're starting to see this happen to the MCU, and that's the criticism that Thor Ragnarok got was you started to see Marvel not take Marvel very seriously, and like, they're going to take villains. I don't know if this will happen yet, but somebody like Kang the Conqueror, they'll make him a joke or something, and that, like, we comic fans hate that. Like, big purple Galactus, we take him very seriously. We don't think it's goofy at all. And that's the biggest difference. And that's it's an impossible thing to explain to people who haven't read it all their lives and been in it and are drawn into the story. God, I was looking at Avengers Annual 10, which honestly is one of the best singular comic books ever made. I mean, it's got the best art, the best writing. It's got a killer story. Rogue comes in and beats the shit out of the fucking Avengers, and Iron Man, whops her in the face. And I was just, because I wanted to see some Michael Golden art. So I was popping through it after my member stream. And
sure,
it's better than anything Hollywood has produced in that one single comic book. And they can't produce stuff like that because they don't take it that seriously.
Yeah, they don't really care about it. They don't have the passion for it. They don't have the fan background. And that's what it takes. You exactly nailed it. We look at it as history. We look at this stuff as like, the handprints of Marilyn Monroe in front of Grauman's Chinese Theater. I mean, these things are sacred.
Yep.
And they're just treating it like it's trash. Like, okay, we've got the license now. We can do whatever the hell we want with it instead of treating it with reverence. And when you treat the story with reverence, you treat its fans with reverence. And they don't have reverence for us.
No. I mean, you hear this from comic creatives who have kind of, because there's a point where, and I've seen this a lot from the comic store, where people grow out of it. And there's nothing wrong with you if you grow out of it, but some people do. And some people, I strike a balance. Like, I can still enjoy this thing and not be embarrassed by it or anything. And there's no shame to my game, but there's some people who just simply grow out of it. Right.
Sure.
But and it's hard. You see them wrestle with it for a little while, and you see them like they don't pick up their comic books, and you see the stack get a little bigger, and you're like, we're losing one. So I talk to them. I just say, why don't you dial it down? Why don't you get some Vertigo books? More of the adult stuff, and work it out. But sometimes you hear comic creatives say, actually, if you really look at it, comic books are silly. Fuck you. No, you know what? My perspective is, if you actually look at it, politics is silly. They're fucking silly. Yeah, everything's silly if you look at it that way, but don't think one thing is better than the other just because it's cartoony and just because it was initially made for kids. Because this stuff they haven't been made for kids in a long time. Kids don't fucking read comic books. They're made for 20-year-olds and up now. No kid, you know what? Most kids don't give a shit about gender and sexuality other than the girls that are within a vicinity of them, for the straight kids and the others, but they're not all consumed with this stuff like the media and entertainment thinks they are. Most of them don't consume that type of entertainment. They're playing games. They're watching YouTube. They're not buying Star Wars shit. They're not buying Doctor Who shit for shit. They don't even know what Star Trek is anymore. So you've completely lost this people. But like, if you start thinking, it's silly, then you get Joel Schumacher's fucking Batman Forever. Now, I know there's fans of that, and I liked it at the time, but it's not something that took Batman very seriously. Okay, well, you got to admit, like,
I never liked it, man. I never liked it. I was like, Jesus, this is terrible. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Batman and Robin was, whew.
You had, it should have been, they had the cast right. And at the time, I thought they had the right director, but I thought Joel Schumacher was going to be Joel Schumacher, and he was going to approach it like Falling Down or Lost Boys. Because if he did that, it would have been cool. But George Schumacher decided to make it a Vegas production. Yeah.
Well, that's a polite word for it, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cast a couple of showgirls as Batman and Robin. It was something. Yeah. Nipples on the bat suit, hard nipples
on the bat suit,
and ice skates. You click your heels together and poing, out pop the bat skates.
I was watching a video today, and there's kids who absolutely love it. Because they watched it when they were 6 or 7, and like, yeah, that's what it's for. And I remember what brought that was, I like Batman Returns. I think it's a good movie. Yeah, it's dark, and the Penguin was dark, but I liked it. I a lot. But apparently the studio didn't a lot, and they told Tim Burton to walk, and they wanted, and I guess McDonald's got really pissed off at Warner Brothers because they did a cross promotion. And God, I forgot what it was. It was in this documentary I was watching on YouTube. But yeah, they had a whole talk show about how bad Batman was for kids, morally for kids. God, that was a long time.
Oh, morally, Jesus. Seduction of the innocent. Thanks for
that stuff. Oh, we're living through it again. We're living through it right now, just from the other side. It's crazy. Hey, Gary and Lord Doomcock, a normal person to an SJW is like Star Trek's Horta to High Republic's Geode. Geodes are hollow rocks. SJWs are hollow people. Hail the Inquisition. Hail
beautiful. 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 I love it. That is fantastic.
Thank you for the $10. Crazy Pineapple for $2 from Kinnell living his 2-inch dreams. Oh, Ryan. Poor Ryan. Why you treat my boy like that, man? Hail Drunk 3PO. Where are the white women at? Or white wimicks at? Where are the white wimicks at? I don't know how you say that. Women with an X?
I have no idea.
You don't want to hear what I'm actually wanting to say. If that's all you have to know is if somebody wants to be identified as a womix, then that's, you know who not to date. I mean, that saves you a lot of trouble.
That's right. A womex, it's like, thanks. I only date females and move on.
Yep. Jaeger Bomb 2 for $5. While get woke, go broke is true, communist SJWs don't care. They just want to destroy everything. How do you win against that before it's too late? Well, ultimately, the corporations out there, I've been working on this for way too long, but this Doctor Who video I'm doing on the anniversary of the Timeless Children, which was supposed to be this fun little 5-minute thing, and it's turned into something else. I gave that a lot of thought. And right now we're fighting. It's not them we're fighting. It's the corporations who are appeasing them because they think they can appease them. The corporations still want to make money. And what they are more afraid of the SJWs than they are of us. Even though the SJWs don't buy anything, they're detrimental to all of their causes, and we buy the shit. But the risk of even slightly being labeled racist or phobe of any kind is worth them paying the collection fee, right? You know, they're getting shaken down right now. Now, it also helps that a lot of the people in the corporations have that belief system, but not everybody. Like the NFL. The NFL owners, for the vast majority of them, are Republican. So why are they bending the knee? Well, because they're afraid of the label, and they got threatened by the players, and the whole league is, and they are going to get hurt by what they did over the last year. I mean, there's certainly, you can be, peacefully and political and share your opinion, and that's fine. But then there was certain points that crossed the line, and then people were calling out fans. And when you start calling out the fans of your product, however right you feel, there's a way you have to approach that because they're still paying. And what we have been dealing with for the last few years is emotional blackmail marketing, and the shit just don't let it work. We're letting it work, and you can't let it work. And the reason this was brought up is, I was doing the Doctor Who video. I'm like, I was trying to figure out, well, why exactly did Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who fail under Chibnall? And it's just a really obvious reason. It's because the Doctor's a man. Doctor's a fucking man. That's why it failed. The female Doctor wasn't going to work. And for anybody who wants to argue that point, I would say, point me a fact showing me where it was going to work. Because right now it's just a theory. It's always been a theory. We've had 2 years of Doctor Who, and it hasn't worked. And so many people were just afraid to say that 2 years ago. I got emails saying, I don't want to say it out loud. It's like why wouldn't you want to say that out loud? That's such bullshit, because it's emotional blackmail. It's like, we're talking about one character. Just because I say the Doctor's a man doesn't mean I hate women. But that's what they've been affixing. These labels they've been affixing to us have stuck. They have stuck. And while we don't take them seriously, the corporations do. So that's why they are bending the knee. How do we beat this shit? By beating them at their own game, taking back the language, and quite frankly, I don't want to technically be asking anybody to do anything, doing what you're doing right now. Every time they post a video, don't let them forget. They can't run from you guys forever. And then when a movie comes out in a movie theater, do not go. It's one thing. Boycotting a streaming service is going to be kind of tough, but just simply not a boycott. Just don't go to the movie. Just don't go. I mean, what does a Star Wars movie have to offer now? Like, seriously, I know you're a big fan. I know I'm a big fan, but I've said no to a bunch of stuff I've been a big fan of all my life, because I don't want to give people like Alex DeCampi or Mark Wade or Tom King any more fucking money. They don't deserve it. They hate you. Lucasfilm does not like you.
Right.
Don't give them.
They don't. And without respect, we reject. I mean, that is why I came up with that. You know, if you do not respect your audience, then you must be rejected. We will reject you. And the way we do that is staying away, closing our wallets, speaking out. And whenever you see an SJW spew shit on Twitter, call them on it, and call them on it with mockery. Call them Todd and post a hot chick in a bikini bouncing up and down in the surf. They hate that. They hate that. They still hate it.
They do.
It bugs the hell out of them that I came up with this, and they're still talking about it.
Good. That's beating them at their own game.
Yes.
Fucking get in their heads. And I said this late last year. I mean, organize. Like, they organized. So we need to do the same thing. We can't keep running from platforms. And we need to be smart. This was brought up with the Bill Burr subject, and it was a very good point. While I feel Bill Burr missed a huge opportunity to level up his career, and I still believe that, I understand why he didn't say anything. I totally get it. I get it. I'm like, I can't judge him that harshly, but I think for his brand and what he wants to do with his life, I think he would have made more money and gotten a lot more respect, while, yes, pissing off a giant corporation by calling out Disney. I think that would have been very Bill Burr. At least that's the perception he would like you to think. But no. So Bill Burr, instead of being like almost David Chappelle, is going to be, maybe Tim Conway from here on out. He's a good comedian. He's funny. I respect him. And no, I cannot judge a man for risking his complete livelihood on somebody he barely knows. But somebody's going to have to step up eventually, right? But no,
definitely.
That's what it's going to have to be, is somebody's going to have to step up eventually. So what we need to do is continue to talk about it, continue to call it out. And sure, it gets tiresome. And like, how many people do we cycle through, Doomcock? There's people, and I don't blame them, man. They're like 6 months of this. They're like, I can't fucking take it anymore. I'm out. And that's great. The thing is, it's not going to go away.
No, man, you can't run from it, because all it will do is keep pursuing you. It's not like, you run away from this and it's going to forget about you and go about its business, wander off because of attention deficit. No, it's going to keep dogging your tail. And that's why I'm never going to shut up about it. I don't give a damn what happens. I'm going to keep at it. And, you talked about Bill Burr. It occurs to me an even more tragic example of a comedian selling their integrity for success. Howard Stern. Howard Stern used to be amazing. He was astonishing, a great talent. I enjoyed watching him, listening to him, subscribed to his channel for a while, before Sirius, like to see the videos of the hot chicks come in and the buoy, stumps their husbands and they have to take their clothes off. That's entertainment, folks. But after he went on America's Got Talent, it's just, there was too much money on the table and he started getting bland. Yeah, that's what happens. More than any other profession, probably, a comedian's got to keep their soul. And if they sell their soul, they're done. They're done.
Yep. And one of my biggest influences and the biggest disappointment, the biggest sellout of all time. And what's going to bug Howard is it hurt his legacy. Like he will be known for this sellout now than anything. You know, his whole brand was calling out Hollywood, was fuck Hollywood. I don't need these people. Screw these people. It turns out he needed them. That's all he ever wanted, which is sad. But you know, there are people out there. See, you could be fuck Hollywood and still be into Hollywood if you set yourself up that way. And Hollywood does need to be put in check. I was watching a little bit. I guess there were some Critics' Choice Awards on the CW instead of Batwoman tonight. So I checked in and it was like on national TV with shitty Zoom calls. I'm like, oh, they're fucked. See, Hollywood is fucked if they have to compete against us. And that's their compete. Like you in the chat, you are their competition now. I've said that over and over again, and it's becoming more and more of reality. And they are starting to realize that, and they are fucking panicked. There's going to be no movie theaters. People are fucking have broken the habit. And the big things that, you know, like without Marvel, what would they would be dead. Movie theaters would be dead already if it wasn't for Marvel. I could think of maybe 4 movies off the top of my head that in the last 4 years that I remember watching that I liked that weren't Marvel movies. Not saying they're the end all be all, but they were the only reason I kind of went to the theater.
No, I hear you. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, there's not a lot of greatness out there right now. Yeah, I mean, when I see it's funny. When I get on, HBO Max or something, and I see a new movie has come up, I'm much more likely to go watch an old movie than gamble on one of these new movies. Because in general, they're woke, they're sloppy, they are not art, they're not the creations of people with passion. They're driven by marketing departments and so on and so forth. So it's a rare instance where I will watch a new movie for fun, Yeah, it's a shame.
Oh yeah. And honestly, I'll turn on a Culture Casino podcast before I turn on most entertainment or anybody's fucking podcast, live stream, anything. I meant to say live stream, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Watching a YouTube first. And I've said it before. And so many others, kids, that's the first place they're going. I got to monitor mine. I got to make sure I got to okay, an hour, maybe an hour and a half a day. Some days when I'm locked in here, he'll sit on it all damn day.
I did. I mean, that's my, I like TV and in movies I mean, shit, I was a bottomless pit of pop culture, and look at me today.
So what do you want to sentence Star Wars to? Disney's Geode. I guess we're sentencing Geode.
Well, it's not The Rock's fault. It's the fault of the writers who put this garbage together, and I sentence the writers to unemployment. I mean, if you stink at your job so much, if you suck at your craft so horribly, it's not even a question of a joke sentence from the Inquisition. I think it's imperative for civilization, for culture, for art, for our souls as a people, to get rid of these posers, these hacks that don't know how to fucking write, and get some real writers in there with soul, with passion, with art, with commitment, instead of these lazy pieces of shit that just go in there and phone it the fuck in. There are actual writers out there in the world that could be making people's lives better. The clown that comes up with a rock named Geode on Vessel has no fucking business writing shit.
Yeah, they're taking somebody's job,
Yes, some real writer.
Whatever his or her name is, doesn't matter what they look like. There's somebody, I guarantee you there's somebody out there with a lot more talent than that person who is without a job, and that person is stealing money. Although if Disney, you're dumb enough to pay them, I guess they earn it. But yeah, that like unemployment, which they'll eventually have. The machine of Disney can prop up a lot of things for a long, long time artificially. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, we decide. The audience will decide. And listen, there is a lot of people out there who will eat this shit up. They are consumers. I get it. It says Star Wars on it. They go, brand, buy, yay, enjoy, next product from brand, meh, But the number of people like waking up to Star Wars, Gina Carano, again, that firing ended up being much bigger than it was big in our, sphere, but this did make it out to the normies much further than I thought it would. Like, there are people who had never heard of Gina Carano who found out about the firing through whatever news they're watching or whatever. It became a big deal, and it is a massive black eye to them, to Disney. And I don't know. I don't want them to recover from this. I just don't care. This brand of Star Wars, again, if you like it, that's fine. This is as good as it's going to get. And these people don't like you, and they don't like fandom. Anybody who starts out with, I'm drinking fanboy tears. And as much as that's fucking cringe. That's such a cringe thing to have your little Instagram post, drinking male tears. That will look back on, people will look back on that. And yeah, that's worse than the mullet. And, there's been a lot of talk of, we exist as a people and they exist as a people. Well, fake geek girls exist. So do fake geek guys. And if you are drinking male or anybody or fucking tears, you're a fucking fake geek. You're a fucking poser. You're not, because ultimately I talk to fans for 10 years straight. I talk to them here. And the one thing fans of something like to do the most is share their love of something. Yeah. God, I mentioned I wanted to watch Babylon 5. Dude, there are so many people. Oh, I can't wait to see you watch it because they're excited about it. Warhammer 40K. People are always trying to recruit to their ranks. So are anime fans, DC comic fans. They always want to tell you about the stuff that they loved, why they're a fan. That's your baseline, Hollywood. But Hollywood's baseline is to be adversarial, to get off on the wrong foot, to go after these people instead of, if you're doing something a little different and you're aware of it, ingratiate yourself to them. Like, I don't know, if you're going to have a female doctor, maybe prepare your fans a little bit more. Maybe put Geode on tour, have her talk to as many people as possible, hire a better fucking writer. I don't know. But they didn't do that. Off the bat, they were like, fuck you, sexist, watch our show. People aren't going to respond to that and out loud, because people don't want to, most of the time people want to avoid confrontation. They don't want a bunch of shit. They're going to go, sure, we'll give the female doctor a chance, or we'll give this a chance. We need to stop with that pretense. They don't get to make the fucking rules anymore. Where we're talking about our stuff, you're not sexist, you're not a phobe, you're not a fucking Yahtzee, you're a Star Wars fan, you're a comic fan, and they have no idea what you're talking about. Remember that. Spoilers. Melissa McCarthy will be in Thor: Love and Thunder. Yes, she will. I saw the footage. And Portman still looks like a beanpole. I did see that as well. As if the movie could not get any worse. This is from Nikki D. Thank you, Nikki D. She's great. Thank you for the $5. The MCU is on its way. Doomcock. The MCU is here.
Yep, and I am not thrilled. In fact, I've never been less excited about the Marvel Cinematic Universe than I am now.
Yeah, so let's talk about WandaVision. And I want to get your thoughts. I want to preface by saying, this might not be the most popular opinion in the world. I understand that. But I have my reasons. I will point them out tonight and in a full review. It was a major disappointment, and it wasn't because of theories. I don't care about theories. Some of them sounded fun, and they were most certainly telegraphing stuff, but set all that aside, as based on what we were presented in a show, it fell flat at the end. It had great potential. There was certainly some really great, really, 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 really good stuff in it. And we'll go over that. But ultimately, the writing, the story fell flat at the end. Again, I have my reasons, but Elizabeth Olsen did say there would be a Luke Skywalker like cameo. Now, she probably doesn't know who fucking Luke Skywalker is. Okay. I mean, I have no idea. And she probably has no idea what she was probably just thinking like, oh, the nerds like the Vision as much as they like the Luke Skywalker. And so, we don't want to be too harsh on her for saying that. And Paul Bettany at least came out and said, yeah, I think I might've started something. But this is entertainment in the 21st century. And what Disney Plus is a cock tease. It's a giant tease. That's all it is. That's all it's going to be. I don't know. What'd you think of the series?
I thought it started out strong. I thought it had a great concept. I was excited about them taking those kinds of creative chances. But my interest started to flag around episode 3. And I'm sorry, Agatha Harkness is not a Luke Skywalker. And neither is White Vision, honestly. I don't know. I don't think it was, I wouldn't give it a D+, the finale, like you did. I would probably give it a C. Well, it wasn't great.
I call Disney Plus D+. So that's why I said D+. It was
okay.
It's not my actual grade, but
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I found it tiresome. All of the kind of woke crap really started to annoy me towards the end. I was not impressed, man. It's just, what do you say about something that's pretty mediocre? I don't know really what to say other than I was kind of bored towards the end and disappointed. I don't understand. Well, I just didn't much care for it. It's okay. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't excited to buy it. I did like the device at the end, how Wanda beat Agatha, but I don't understand I didn't understand in the fight why she kept zapping her when she just kept stealing the power. And even, towards the end when she was damn near desiccated, what was that other than just like a snide FU kind of a little plot twist? What was the point of that?
Of what? Turning her back into the...
No, like she kept, even after it was quite clear that she was absorbing her power, she kept zapping her, even when she already had the stupid runes up there. What was the point?
They needed to show, and I'm not joking, how powerful she was.
So powerful that she just ate her lunch and and just cackled wickedly. I got sick of that character, by the way. Agatha Harkness was really grating, and it just wore thin, man.
Well, Jack Schaefer, who was a lady, was the writer of this show, and she came out. I'm paraphrasing what she said. Basically, she doesn't give a fuck about your sexist lore. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what she said. She's the writer of this show. So
cool. So you really shouldn't have been writing it then.
Yeah. There is
no fucking sexist lore. It just is or it isn't. And the lore is the story. The lore is the property, is the franchise. If you don't give a shit about the lore, the background of the story, then you have no business writing the story, bitch. It's got nothing to do with fucking racist or sexist or anything. It has to do with that's the story. That's the story. It's like when you order a steak, the steak is going to taste meaty. It's not going to taste like asparagus. It's not going to taste like cream corn. It's going to taste like meat because it's a steak. And when you've got a comic book movie with decades of background to it, that is the fucking movie. That's the show. That's the story. And when you disregard it, then you're just throwing out the story. There is nothing left. What is left after you throw that out? some kind of half-ass, watered-down, adulterated thing where once a story evolved over many, many years by people that were passionate. It did it organically. You're just going to wad it up and throw it away because you think at the end of the history of this thing that, oh, you've got it all fucking figured out, you arrogant piece of shit. You don't know shit. The simple fact of the matter is that's an excuse for a lazy fuck that can't be bothered to know what the fuck they're talking about, to know about the story. They don't give a shit. It's a lot easier for them to just, I'm throwing it out. I'm going to do whatever I want. Because you're lazy and you suck.
And that's where this, like, the ultimate failure for me, for WandaVision, was its potential. The waste of Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany were fucking great in their as their respective characters. They had great chemistry. I was completely okay with pretty much every scene they were in. It was I know it's literally a story within a story, but it was the B story that took me out of the story I should have been watching, because all of the characters came straight out of the Captain Marvel movie. It was Captain Marvel writing with old MCU writing, and it just went off the rails because of intersectionality. That eventually won the fucking day. Now, did it I would give it a 5 out of 10. That's what I would get. I'd like a 5 out of 10. And it's because they forced Monica Rambeau in. She didn't need to fucking be there at all. That story did not need to happen.
No.
I'm blanking on his fucking name. Hayward, right? Yeah, Tyler Hayward started out completely logical. You could have still made him a nemesis, but they made him evil, toxic white male at the end. They did some straight up MCU shit at the end, and it was cringe, and it was as bad as whatever good was going on. Again, the first 3 episodes, I thought they were pretty good. They could have been compressed into an hour. Sure. Fine. But I thought that the 20-minute format worked. I thought the slow build, and remember, everybody's like, this is going to build up to something. And, I kind of thought that. And then, Quicksilver shows up, Evan Peters, and that kind of blows everything up. And I thought that was a great way to end it. I thought it was really clever, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't think they would like fully introduce the X-Men. I thought they would do like a backdoor, but the payoff from that one just fell flat. And it was, and to fucking give him a last name, a boner, fuck you. Like, fuck you. And then it stopped making sense at the end. Like stupid shit started happening in the story in that last episode. So as cool as that Vision fight was, because that was fucking cool.
It was
half hour of that Vision fight, and especially the reasoning, like that's what we go to see. And the Wanda Agatha Harkness fight was energy balls going at, but yeah, that's fine. That's why I watch superhero stuff in the rooms. I thought, yeah, it's cool. Monica Rambeau, I went back and rewatched the series, and the first episode she's in, she's good. She's good. They like none of that intersectionality is there. She's treating people with respect. Sure, there's a comment here and there, but whatever. It does something interesting with the snap. It shows like people reappearing. Now, is that cool? And it's like it becomes a completely different show, like writing wise, as far as like it feels like different writers took on the show after Evan Peters showed up, and it just turned into a big flat nothing. Now, I'm not saying you had to introduce the X-Men. I'm just going off of whatever we heard out there was Access Media and fan projection. I think a lot of the stuff that the expectations on the show were fan projection, because they didn't give you much in the show itself, other than some decent performances. And it was pointed out by Ryan correctly. So like this was never supposed to be some big thing, and it ended up being much bigger than it had to be, because this is the first Marvel thing we've gotten since the lockdown. But there were promises eluded. Okay, I don't know where the sources of these promises were. There was Luke Skywalker cameo, possibility of introducing. This is supposed to be a lead up to Doctor Strange, but they literally told you fucking nothing. It's like, you got to look at the commercial and the blinking toaster to see the Easter egg for, I mean, I know that's not correct. I'm just using that as an example. It's like, no, it's got to be something like everybody can pick up, not just the hardcorest of comic book fans. I was very happy to see White Vision. I remember White Vision in the comics. And I thought it was cool as hell. And they ended up resurrecting Vision, but then Vision fucking leaves. He just, why? Why would he just take off? If he remembers everything, he loves Wanda, she's in trouble, and he leaves. And then fake Vision goes back and sits there and watches her fight the whole time while he's cowering over the kids. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Vision can take on people wielding magic. He's a machine. He's a machine that can phase in and out and become hard as a diamond. And like it got ridiculous at the end. And it was
dude. I mean, the Vision could have flown up behind Agatha Harkness while she was distracted and put his arm through her and solidified it. That does the trick.
And that's what took me out. So again, Vision Wanda stuff, fine. The introduction of the Scarlet Witch, the costume looks really fucking good. Took them long enough. And, I guess that's their way of saying, and she technically is a mutant now. So she's going to be, I guess, the first mutant technically introduced into the MCU. The Evan Peters thing being just, that made no sense. It's almost like they were going to pull the trigger on making him Quicksilver, and then at the last minute change their mind and came up with something stupid. That's what it feels like. I don't know if that's what actually happened. But of course there was no Mephisto, and I was hoping there would be in the show, but if he didn't ultimately show up, I wouldn't be surprised, because with anything Disney Marvel, that's what it is. It's Disney Marvel. I want you to look at you got to look at things through the lens of identity politics and what would the Chinese government want. Now, of course, they can't see Disney Plus and it doesn't affect it, but Disney Plus right now it's just a big prologue for whatever movie they're going to put out. And that's how, things have changed now with the streaming services. But when WandaVision was being produced, it was just to get people enticed to go see a movie. And, to get you to subscribe, and it ends up being a commercial for Doctor Strange, which wasn't a very good commercial. And it ended up leading more directly into Captain Marvel 2. Captain fucking Marvel 2 and the Monica Rambeau thing. And that wasn't lost on me. She gets at the end, there's somebody expecting you, let's have a talk, or people are expecting you in the theaters. It's like, oh God. And that is Marvel reading the tea leaves way wrong. When people were complaining about Brie Larson and talking about Monica Rambeau, they were more mad about Brie Larson. And sure, we would like to see that character instead, but I don't know if people are actually going to go see a movie. And are we going to have Miss Marvel is going to be in Captain Marvel 2. So now Monica Rambeau is going to this. It could be Captain Marvel 2 could be A-Force. So I am holding out for that. I am holding out like hell. But the MCU is here because even what's her name? I forget. Kat Dennings' character.
Oh God.
Wasn't that annoying in Thor? I just watched Thor. She was a totally different person in Thor than what she was in this. She was a naughty Marvel SJW character in this, and she was fine in Thor. I'm not saying she was Shakespeare or anything like that. And it just completely ripped me out of the story. And the Agatha Harkness stuff, really, if you think about it for a half a second, makes no sense. How did she follow Wanda to the town? How did she know she was going to do that? Was she stalking her every second? Did she follow her to the fucking sword base that's supposed to be secret? Like, how did she get there? How was she, so she had the runes. Okay. They showed everything except for her arriving in the town and setting everything up to observe Wanda. But fine. Okay. It's a comic book show. And I don't, Catherine Hahn was fine. I thought she was pretty good as Agatha Harkness. And I did like that song. I thought it was a good song. But it told us everything we kind of already knew. Like everything they were setting up was really fucking obvious. I don't know about you, but it was like, yep, not surprised there. And it ended up just being flat at the end. It ended up so if you look at the show, it was Kurt Metzger said it best on our Friday night. He said it's a story about a woman whose vibrator broke.
Oh dear.
And then she reads a book at the end. I mean,
yeah, she's reading the book while she's got her other self, so she's astral. I don't know. So basically, she's poised to become the big baddie.
Yeah.
She's poised to basically, come on, let's be real. Jean Grey, Phoenix. Yes. It's just so we're gonna have a scene where at the end of whatever phase 4 MCU, she'll be on a hill gathering power, all the magic power, and Captain Marvel will have to go and beat her up, just like Wolverine had to go and get Jean Grey. I don't know. Yeah. It just seems really tepid and shitty.
Here's the specific intersectional feminism point in the show, and intersectional feminism is. It's basically the Bechdel test. We can't have women. It's very segregationist. It's not egalitarian. It doesn't want women working with men in any way, shape, or form. We can't have a woman receiving her power from a man. She can't be mentored by a man, but we can have it the other way around. And it's to make up for all the wrongs of Hollywood over the last 100 years, by the way. Somehow this is doing it. I don't know how. I think it's ruining storytelling because I'd rather see men and women working together or wimix. But, yeah. So the specific scene at the end was, for one, holding Vision back from the fight, and Vision's just fucking standing there, cowering over the kids. The kids aren't doing anything either, and they've got power. And Tyler fucking shoots the kids out of fucking nowhere. Like, just takes a shot at the kids. Yeah. And up until then, he was logical. She was a threat. And the thing is, I don't know if just the morals in Hollywood are just completely off now, and or why can't just a woman be powerful? But she did imprison thousands of people against their will. They're going to have PTSD for fucking years, if not the rest of their life.
Oh, yeah.
And Monica Rambeau says, we're sisters now, so you can go.
You do you, baby. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's pathetic. The whole thing was sad. I don't know. The more I think about it, I only watched it once, but the more I think about it, the less I like it. I mean, certainly I would never go back and rewatch this show. I wouldn't find it entertaining. It's like, okay, now I know what it is and I don't need to go back, just ready to move on. And that, contrast that with, Iron Man, contrast that with, Winter Soldier or Guardians of the Galaxy. So many great Marvel movies, and this is just disposable, honestly.
Yeah, that's where Disney's going to fall short, and that's where I blame the structure of Disney Plus. This data-driven, audience-enhanced bullshit is. We don't want to give them too much because we want to, like a comic book. You don't want to give them everything so they keep coming back. It's got to be like a soap opera. But this was a one-off to lead into a movie that's now not going to be out for 2 years. They probably would have been better off sitting on this for a little while. Yeah. Maybe releasing something else like Loki first. I don't know. But there's when I went back and watched it again, it was a chore to get through the first 4 episodes, knowing like, for one, it's repeated information. It's very lost. It's fucking very lost. It's mystery box bullshit. Yeah. What you get the same story from 2 different perspectives twice in the series. I think 3 times twice in the series for sure. Yeah, Monica Rambeau, and they, so they show the first 2 episodes and then they repeat the second episode from Monica Rambeau, or third episode from Monica Rambeau's perspective. And you end up pretty much in the same place. You just see what she went through. But it doesn't really move the story forward. And no, the repeat viewings on this are going to be awful. And that's what's going to hurt Disney Plus. You need people going back and watching your shit over and over again.
That's not going to happen, man.
No. Well, Stranger Things and like The Witcher are successful because people are still watching that shit now, like a year later.
It's true, man. I think, honestly, I have to say, and I don't know if this will be unpopular or seem overly harsh, but I didn't really feel all that much until like the final scene or something about the sincerity of Wanda and Vision's relationship. In other words, most of this show is so shticky and so, centered on this sitcom kind of level of depth that, there was never moments where, there was genuine warmth or connection where it was just them, where it would have been really nice if somewhere in Wanda's mind, she, now I know that they had like the thing where she saw his dead body and stuff briefly and she kind of startled, but if even when you're playing pretend, you have at least an awareness in the back of your mind that you're playing pretend. Like when you go to a movie, you have an awareness in the back of your mind it's a movie. And I just wish that every once in a while, I think it would have added to the emotional depth of the thing if, Wanda had, reached out and touched Vision in a tender way, or just something to make us realize that, she every once in a while she takes maybe a little half of a step out of the thing and realizes, oh my God, I've got my true love back here, and it's such a miracle, and I can't live without him. You know what I mean? There was nothing like that. It was all glib, sitcom-y kind of shit, and the kids to me never worked. They were always artificial. They were always weird, conceived under weird circumstances, growing very quickly, superpowers and everything. I don't know. I never really bought into them. I mean, that's the problem with the sitcom conceit, is these sitcoms had the depth of a drained wading pool in January. I mean, there's hardly anything there in terms of real, genuine, emotional content.
There was one scene in the Brady Bunch episode where Vision was like, we can go move somewhere else. And she kind of stops and says, no, we can't. Like,
right.
This is it. But the biggest failure, I thought their chemistry was great. We could have used more. And the biggest failure was, think about the Vision and Wanda Maximoff relationship before the show. How much of it did we actually see? Not much.
No.
In maybe I'm trying to think back to Civil War. It's been a long time since I've seen Civil War. A little bit in Civil War, a little bit in Infinity War, right?
Right, but I never got the sense that this was a grand love affair, except for when she had to kill him and stuff. But that's not enough, especially on a series. No, believe me, I understand and I agree that the actors had chemistry, but that's a different thing than having a full-blown relationship. And honestly, I would say that their relationship was only slightly more advanced in terms of the plot than, Stamens and Mushroom Doctor.
You're absolutely right. And I think a lot of it is projected from the comic books, maybe.
Exactly.
That is a grand relationship in the comic books. It is,
yes.
But never, ever really portrayed that in the MCU as anything other than a relationship just starting. Because Infinity War, it just felt like they were just kind of getting going, And,
exactly. And, it would have had so much more power. See, this is like a real writer, like I am. You could have had that scene where they're all standing around looking at her and she's walking and, each one of them could have said a little something that would have hit her harder and harder and harder. And you see her almost like on the walk of shame in Game of Thrones, only she's literally starting to break down, literally starting to cry. And it would have really been good if she had tried to explain to them or had just sunk down on her knees and just said, I couldn't let him go. I just couldn't let him go. That would have been a moment of honesty, of naked emotional honesty that would have been great for the actress to play and great for the audience to see through this shallow sitcom veneer and really see the depth of her passion.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I think a lot of people who are jumping into this are MCU fans. I don't know how many new fans this is going to make, because you're going to be lost in it. And maybe they could have done an hour of their relationship prior to them hitting the town, prior to Infinity War, kind of show, that flashback scene, instead of where she's, instead of make that a flashback, make that a fucking episode where you're like, where the first time that they're connecting, right? And then show them a little later on, and then you establish it, and then you start the next episode in a sitcom. You're like, what the fuck? And that makes it feel like more of a real relationship, because you're right, it's missing because it wasn't there. It just wasn't
there, dude. And that's the thing that really bored me. It's because I don't care. I don't really buy it. I never saw their relationship. We have seen literally more feeling and more of a relationship with Clyden and Bortus on the Orville, which is largely a comedy, than was in this entire miniseries. I'm sorry. I know it's there because I read the comics and I get the subtext, but it's not on the screen. And so I was emotionally unmoved by what happened.
And then, the big villain, right, falls apart for me. Robert Redford's character in Winter Soldier, I bought that he flipped, right? And I bought that Baron Zemo, his motivation. It was a cockamamie plan in Civil War, but I bought it, okay? But this guy's willing to risk his entire career on something that's never worked before. He had conspirators, and he's willing to take a shot at children, and then he gets stopped by Kat Dennings, who obviously doesn't need an airbag. All of a sudden, Photon knows that she can step in front of bullets, or I know she was being
jeez, yeah.
And you could tell it was just that we need something for Monica Rambeau to do. And Melissa and I, we made a joke at the beginning when Monica first showed up in the sitcom. That's when we knew something was off, because we're trying to model this off a 60s sitcom, and it felt like they just needed to give her something to do. That's why they brought her into the magic trick. It was kind of cringe, really. And that's what it ended up happening in the show. It's like, yes, you need to introducing Monica Rambeau is fine, but again, you've robbed this character of, this is one of their words, agency, of her agency, because now you're making her a derivative essentially of fucking Captain Marvel, and her origin was walking through a barrier and being positively affirmed. That was her origin. Couldn't have been more SJW if you tried.
You go, girl.
You're the best. You're the bestest ever.
Slay Queen. Yeah. And by the way, did you notice that Monica Rambeau's outfit was straight out of the Next Generation? I mean, Star Trek Next Generation. It's fucking right there. It was ridiculous. Did you notice that? Look at it, the damn thing. Other than like they stuck a big round symbol on her fucking chest. Other than that, take that thing off and look at her. It looks like basically like it's Deanna Troy's outfit that got left out in the sun or got bleached. Got a little lighter.
And if this show was such a massive success, I can believe it's the most watched thing out right now. Certainly there's not much out, but if this thing was such a massive success, why is it just a one-off? And like, I know they probably planned it as a one-off, but again, if this had the viewership of, say, The Mandalorian towards the end, there'd be a season 2. There'd be a fucking season 2. Believe me. I did like that they resurrected the Vision and they didn't just kill him. Because that's good, because I like this character a lot, and we finally have a Scarlet Witch, and she's got a proper costume, and that's good. But Agatha Harkness and Toxic White Male as big villains, disappointment as villains, total disappointment. I think you could have come up with something a little better than that. But that wasn't the point. The point, apparently, this was a character study about grieving. Well, as Doomcock said, you never really showed the relationship up front. I mean, what we're doing is, again, projecting something that's from the comics. It doesn't even remotely reflect it. And that's why comics, I mean, almost belong on television, but they gotta have meat. These episodes on Disney Plus are hollow. They are shallow. They are the junkiest of junk food with no, I mean, the calories on it are just empty calories. And there's other streaming services. Like, I'm sorry, I know I'm a horrible entitled fan. I've been watching television all my life, and I either get 45 minutes to an hour of something on, streaming services are relatively new, but if people can get their shit together, they could be kicking Disney's ass. Disney has a lot of content, but if their content's not going to have content, they're going to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, there is an opening there. They are really taking the low road in terms of just kind of cranking out shit. My God, that Marvel Studios title literally takes up about like 45 seconds or 30 to 45 seconds. That dun, 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 where, I mean, my God, just trying to obviously eat up as much time as they possibly can to pad out the length of their episodes, guys. I mean, it was a minute and a half.
Yeah.
A minute and a half by the time that anything actually new started happening.
Dude, on the fourth episode, right? The one where I think it's the fourth episode where Monica Rambeau, gets blinked back. Or no, it's the one after she gets shot out of the town. They do the Marvel Studios thing, and then they do a previously on. It's 3 minutes and 27 seconds into the episode where action finally starts. It's a 22-minute episode. 2 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's a ripoff. It's a fucking ripoff. And like those motherfuckers there at Disney, they're like, okay, cut that off. And we'll put on 11 minutes of credits. And I thought it was funny at first, but after you like going through it, you're like, come on, really?
It's a bit much.
Did you, I mean, like, who's on those credits? Is it everybody who worked on the show and all of their relatives too? I mean,
yes, the men's room attendant, all of these, people. It's
Jesus.
It's embarrassing, man. Literally, it's like 20 minutes of stuff and 10 minutes of other shit, credits and recaps and tomfoolery. And what's with the commercials? All this like stuff about Hydra. Hydra didn't even figure into it.
No, so the commercials towards the end were foreshadowing. There was some foreshadowing for Doctor Strange, and it was, I mean, like unspectacular completely. But they did foreshadow that they're going to bring in the Nexus. So that's it's basically the multiverse. We figured that out because it's actually in the title of Doctor Strange. So thanks for letting us confirming what we already know.
Yeah.
There was little Mephisto signs everywhere, little devil heads everywhere. He is not going to be the villain in Doctor Strange. I promise you, he will not. And because of fucking China, which is too bad because he's one of the best villains. But he should have played his part in the Infinity Gauntlet and didn't. So whatever. Yeah. And the other commercials were supposed to reflect her grief. Like because this was about her processing her grief. So it starts out with her hitting the Vision in the head with a plate. That's her acknowledging. And she goes, oh, indestructible head. No, it's actually not. He got his head ripped open and that's how he died. And yeah, it was her going through her trauma. And because we know this character at the end, her trauma became more important than 1,000 people's lives.
Yeah.
That's the lesson you learn in this show. That is fucking as morally off as like people die. People die. Doesn't give you an excuse to be an asshole, to fucking kidnap 1,000 people or break open their mind or do whatever bad behavior. But this is like the lessons we're starting to teach our kids now, that if you've been wronged or victimized, it can justify you. Basically, you have a blank check, if you even remember what those are, kids, to be as big of an asshole as you possibly can. And because you are part of the marginalized class, again, not really sure how a white woman is part of the marginalized class in this country, but it makes it okay. And the lesson at the end of that thing was just completely fucking off. Like, what? Like, she's walking right now. It would make more sense if they took her in and then you're setting up, and then she's in a prison or something, and then she hears her kids. That would make sense.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we've seen this woke writing before, Doomcock. Tech Taeyoon with Doctor Who. She murdered a kid over and over again, but we need women in STEM. So we need to portray her as good. And, and what is Wanda going to be? Just another Hela from Thor Ragnarok, who was a villain, but, it was because she was abused by her father. That gives her an excuse to do whatever she wants. And then Thor can't even fight her directly because we can't have a man. So you're going to set up women as powerful villains, but you can't have a man striking a woman in a movie, even fake. I mean, this is all fake, by the way. This is specifically how intersectionality fucks up entertainment because of these stupid fucking rules, which are basically set out to undermine our culture. And like, we're way past time of thinking this. Oh, you sure this is going on? No, I know this is going on. They've told us this is going on. They've given us the rule book. They've showed it to us.
They have indeed, dude. This is their methodology. This is all part of critical theory. It's just Jordan Peterson talks about it all the time. Brett Weinstein, and it's horrifying. It's really horrific. Just how awful this is at its root. It goes way beyond mere pop culture. I mean, it really is attacking our civilization at the heart of it. It's attacking the very idea of truth, because these people are not above lying to further their aims. And they view everything as a platform. Everything is political. Everything, therefore, is soulless. And this is why probably even a piece of quality work like WandaVision in the end is empty calories, is because, they're only interested in their virtue signaling and their platform expression. They're not interested in actually delivering fully fledged, fleshed out characters with hearts and souls that moves people so much. I will watch things over and over and over again that I love, things like Banshee, things like, great movies, like Blade Runner and things, things that have a passion, a point of view, and artistic merit. And these shows are like popcorn. They just have literally, they're okay ways to waste your time. But literally WandaVision is something that you could have kind of had on in the background while you were grading papers or eating supper or, trimming your toenails.
Yep. And here's the writer's credits. She's written 1, 2, 3, 4 before WandaVision, The Hustle, 2019. Heard of that? Olaf's Frozen Adventure. Haven't heard of that. Mr. Stash, which is a short, and Timer. No real superhero science fiction genre experience. And you can really tell every time somebody comes into genre that they have no experience, and it's happening more and more because they're trying to give more opportunities, and they're doing it in the most lazy way. There is plenty of women and plenty of people who are interested in this stuff. But the thing is, it's just the women they choose who have the right politics and know the right people. So it's the same bullshit in Hollywood. It's the same bullshit. She, by the way, she is writing and I believe directing Black Widow.
Well,
or she's writing at least. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a shallow mess too, then, I guess. I don't know.
Kate Shortland is directing Black Widow. So that's the director of Black Widow. Let's see what she's done some stuff. Bad Cop, The Secret Life of Us, Somersault, Berlin Syndrome, Smilf, a TV series. What's a Smilf? Maybe that's superhero? I don't know what a Smilf.
No, Smilf is some kind of super mom I'd like to F or something. I don't know.
Okay, that's not superhero. Well, that's
not superhero.
The Secret Life of Us, which was 10 episodes. Oh Christ. Yeah, that looks terrible. And yeah, again, so that's that's your Black Widow movie. And essentially the movie that was pre-made for them, and they plug these people in and they can go, look at how stunning and brave we are. We hired women to
hire qualified women, hire great writers, hire people that deserve to be there. They're out there if you looked for them, instead of your little cronies that are interested in furthering your little platform message and all that crap that you people do. It's just unbelievable. You know, looking back at Guardians of the Galaxy, there was so much more genuine emotion in that movie. Shit, I'll go further. I'll say there was more genuine emotion in the opening scene of that movie when Peter is watching his mom, saying goodbye to his mom. I mean, that was like, I couldn't believe they were doing that. I mean, it was so emotional. It was so upsetting. And it's like, how the fuck are you going to recover in a Marvel movie from that opening? I don't know. And son of a bitch, boom, they did it instantly with come and get your love. I mean, that was like one of the most exuberant, fun sequences I've seen in a long fucking time. That was the modern geek equivalent of Gene Kelly in Singing in the Rain. You know, I mean, that was just like, it was so joyful after plunging us down to this seriously like heartbreaking depth of despair. That is writing. That is some great writing. And this shit, I never teared up. I mean, at the end, I felt a little bad when they were saying goodbye, but you knew that was, I don't know.
I was just showing that. I don't know if you saw it. The Black Widow poster doesn't look, I mean, again, this is the entropy of the MCU, right? Okay, Black Widow, good character, should have had a movie. We already talked about it, but it's way too late. That time has passed. This totally feels obligatory.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even look like Black Widow.
No.
Costume was better in Winter Soldier, Iron Man 2, the first Avengers. She looked like fucking Black Widow. Like this doesn't look, it looks like Elektra from 2004. That's what it looks like now. And it sucks. It sucks that they decided to wait this long, and that's going to be our next, like this year's going to be bad, folks. The Eternals, again, we haven't seen a frame of footage.
And we don't want to.
Do you want to see what promotion we have seen? No, I can show you. Oh,
sure. Why don't we take a look, shall we?
Yeah,
why not?
This is amazing, by the way. This is, I mean, like, this is art on the highest level, on the absolute highest level. And I mean, like, you must have been high as shit to think this was a good idea to, they took the image down.
Oh no.
Oh, don't worry. I still got it. They took it down. They took it off of previews. No shit. That is hilarious. Here, thankfully it's a little pixelated, but it's still up. Let's take a look. But watch this, folks. Holy shit. Because we gave it a bunch of shit on other shows, we'll say. There we go. It's pixelated because they took the picture down, but look at that. That's something they put out as an actual calendar. If you look to the right, yeah. The kid on the left, that's a painted face.
Yeah.
Actual human being. Now here, when I go to the link, can you see it? No, you can't see it. Here, let me go to the link. Let's go to the link now. Let's go to the link. It's down.
Oh no, dear. Do you think that means that they know it sucks?
Yeah. I mean, but it's low effort shit that we're gonna be getting now, and that's what Disney does. They're like, okay, this thing is popular. We don't have to put in as much work as we used to. So let's maximize profits. We got rid of Downey Jr. We got rid of Evans. Hemsworth is going to be gone. We're going to be more diverse and inclusive, which you know what that means, by the way? Cheaper.
Absolutely. A bunch of nobodies that we don't care about, they're bringing in. They're going to go ahead and rope them in.
And
oh, yeah. I'm excited.
The reason Disney is going so hard in the paint for woke, I mean, it's been obvious for a while, but with the Dr. Seuss canceling, which was a self-canceling, by the way, which was they decided to stop printing 6 books that had racially insensitive stuff. Personally, you can't stop printing shit. This is how you forget shit. You can print it and point it out and say, you know what? We've evolved past that. That's bad. But if we get rid of every little bad thing that's going to hurt somebody's feelings, we're going to have a bubble society very, very soon. So
it will be decimating everything because everything is offensive to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you go into Disney's past, it's far worse than Ted Geisel's, who did, he was a man of his time. But again, like the dude was as nice and as open and inclusive and as fucking liberal as they come. But when he grew, when he grew past that. So like people evolve, and this damning people forever for having drawn something or thought something. I mean, that shit's got to end. And you know what? We need to be as hard on cancel culture as it has been on other people, especially when they get something wrong, like with Gina and with Doctor Who. Yeah. Or Dr. Seuss. And we can't be okay with it because you can't go, well, yeah, this time it's fine. Or he had it coming, especially when, again, you're judging. There's cancel culture. Dude did creepy shit. He needs to be fired. Yes, that's fine. Or girl who did creepy shit. And they both need to be treated equally, by the way. And then there's, well, I just lived in the 70s or the 60s, and I lived as a normal person back then. And we have evolved since then. And I have evolved, or that person, or we all have. And then judging them and treating them like they've murdered somebody or something. Or treating them like they were out there burning crosses or shit like that. It's not fair. And if we keep doing that, that is going to lead to current day stuff. They're going to stop looking in the past and they're going to start looking to a week ago and getting you. And it doesn't stop. It never stops. It's like a Terminator. It doesn't stop until we stop it.
Amen. Yeah. That's why we're not shutting up.
Stop being fucking offended about everything. Okay. Like, man, like I promise you, like life is not going to get better until life didn't get better for me. I'll use my I statements here until I realized that life is, and I internalized it and understood that life is not fair. Like I am owed shit. And the deck is stacked against certain people more than others. That's the way it is. We try to improve it, but and you want to continue doing that, but you also in the back of your mind know none of this shit's going to happen in my lifetime. So I'll do what I can to make it better, but I'm not going to be frozen in life because I am victimized or life was unfair or, I was an ex-felon when I was in my 20s and they, these felonies are still on my record. Yeah, that was my decision. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's sad. I was a kid, but that's life. That's the reality of the situation. They're there forever. I'm going to deal with it. I'm not going to sit there and whine or use it as an excuse. And that's where I learned to succeed. That's where I learned to succeed. And each individual has to come to that. And if you don't, you're just going to be trapped in your own victimization, your own hate, your own self-pity, and you'll be trapped in life surrounded by, I don't know, misery or nobody, because nobody wants to be around that. Nobody wants to be around that. And
yeah, but that's what these SJWs love.
Yeah.
They love feeling like victims. Oh my goodness, there's nothing better than feeling victimized and calling people that you accuse of victimizing you Yahtzees, phobes, etc., because it makes you feel better about your lot in life. It's like these people love their victimized status in their own minds, because then it excuses them from any responsibility for where they are.
Yep.
Oh, it was the man. It was it was phobes. It was because of my color. It was because of my sex, blah, 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 blah. And you can go and hold that and cuddle that. It'll keep you warm while you're sitting in your foot jammies on your fucking couch, tweeting out about the latest person you want to cancel. Go fuck yourself. What a loser.
You know, it's all about gratitude, and we have little gratitude out there. And that gratitude helps me adjust my expectations. So when my life was shit, I dialed my expectations down. And when I had to go out and start over as a much older adult and take on jobs that I wouldn't have considered, because I had to,
right.
I had to eat my crow, and I did it. And I eventually became okay with it. I'm glad I did it. And it was a very humbling experience, and it was great for me. It was fucking great. I grew from that. And that's the only way we're going to grow. And like it's a plague. It's a disease. We have a lot of unhappy people out there who think they wake up in the morning and they are morally right. They are morally right. There is a Nazi around every corner. There's that whole conspiracy with the Q in it. You're all out there too, and we're gonna stop you. And I'm a superhero every time I wake up in the morning because I have pronouns on my bio. All the shitty behavior in the world. You know what? That's gonna play for a little while, but eventually, Twitter will go away, or you'll go away from it, and you will be stuck with yourself, and you'll have to deal with that shit. It's much easier to deal with this shit when you're younger than when you're in your 40s and 50s. I'll tell you that right now. You don't want to do that. I see it in AA, trying to get sober when you're young. A lot easier when fucking doing it when you're older is not easy. Not fucking easy.
No.
Okay. Let's where we at? We're gonna read some super chats, but let's sentence WandaVision.
I don't know. Going in being locked in the closet for 8 hours or something. Let it go. I don't know. It's not something I feel passionate about either way. I mean, I really was on board when I saw the first couple of episodes. I was excited, and I thought this is a great concept, and it's not so awful that I really want to punish it or anything, but it sure as shit isn't something that is going to get people to stick on Disney Plus or subscribe out of the blue. And frankly, at this point, when I think about it, I just feel kind of a sense of boredom and vague disappointment. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think the disappointment comes from the MCU aspect of it. I thought Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are great. They're great.
Yeah.
They're great in everything they do. But I can see the cookie cutter. I can see the die has been cast, right? So I knew the MCU was coming. It's varying degrees. It's how much of an MCU are we going to get? Oh, it's going to be all MCU all the time. Expect full on woke Captain Marvel like movies. Don't expect your older MCU fare that has been retired. Captain Marvel is now the blueprint for the MCU. Now, the MCU is the greatest franchise ever created. Kevin Feige deserves a lot of credit. Not all of it, but a lot of credit. And 22 movies is astonishing, and he should have fucking names of streets made after him. And while not every single one of them was good, no franchise will ever equal that ever again, and no corporation like Disney will be able to build a franchise like that again. Thing is, it could have gone on for another 20 movies very easily, but it's not, because of identity politics in the MCU. And I wish that wasn't the answer. I don't want that to be the answer. I fucking hate that being the answer. But instead of going out and getting your best talent to create new characters or adapting some of the characters you have, you're going to be gender swapping and race swapping classic characters, and it's going to prevent you from having that next 20 movie run. And that's just a fact. That's a fact. And people won't say it out loud. Most customers, as I've said before, walk away quietly. And it's not because they're racist. It's not because they're sexist. They want their Fantastic Four to look like the fucking Fantastic Four. You can do whatever you want with everybody else, but make the Fantastic Four look like the Fantastic Four. But they're not going to. They're not going to look like it. And they're going to tokenize and give somebody some more scraps. Some more scraps, which is in it of itself racist. And the same with the X-Men, who are now rumored to be called the Mutants. It's over before it even begins.
The Mutants, and that basically that's it for the X-Men. I mean, right there, when you're even compromised down to your fucking name. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It doesn't need to be this way. You could, for one, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is inclusive and diverse. It can have everything under the sun that you want. All you will need to do is tell superhero stories. That's all you need to do. Have men and women working together and, shooting some fucking shit with their laser beams from their fucking hands or shooting their webs and having a lot of fun. Having fun. Intersectionalism is about as fun as a colonoscopy. Okay. So
it's a lot less fun than I would opt for a colonoscopy every time, because at least you sleep through it.
Yeah, you get
you wake up and it's over. I wish I could wake up and have this intersectional feminism and this fucking SAW woke shit be over. I'd do that. I'd fucking do that. No doubt about it.
Yeah, so I give it a 5 out of 10. I think it's a balancing act, and it's going to be, well, we got to put our our not even progressive. It's fucking straight up extreme intersectionality into our shit because it's the MCU, and then we'll also mix in the other, which will make it like halfway entertaining. And hopefully it's different. Loki, I'm still looking forward to Loki.
Even after Tom Hiddleston is only going to be in the first episode.
Well, I heard it's not. I heard he's in all the episodes. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
not for sure. So no, if he's not in all the episodes, I'm going to stop watching. I'm going to just flat out stop watching. Good. I waste my time on it. But if he's in all the episodes, that's cool, because I like Tom Hiddleston. I like Loki, and I think it's an interesting concept if they do it right. I could be getting completely played, but we'll find out. Falcon Winter Soldier, I'll watch it to review it, but it sounds as bland gets. Like, it's beige wall. It's a warm glass of water. It doesn't sound very exciting to me, and especially if it's going to be a study in police brutality and then applying the Falcon as Captain America, which is dumb. It was dumb in the comics. It's dumb now. The Falcon is his own original character. Yeah. He's not a sidekick. He's a fucking character.
He shouldn't get a promotion to Captain America. He's the fucking Falcon, for God's sakes.
For one, he's got no powers. He has no powers.
Right.
He can't throw the shield as hard as Captain Bucky. Winter Soldier has the arm. He could throw that shield and cut somebody's fucking head off.
Yep.
And it actually worked in the comics when Bucky took over. It was quite good. And they decided to skip Brubaker's brilliant run to the shitty run of the they've skipped decades of lore. That's why I'm so down on the MCU. And maybe you haven't read the comics, but there is decades of lore that they could adapt that could keep this thing going forever. They skipped it all to get to 2015 Marvel, which is terrible. Across the board, terrible.
The Eternals. It's going to be great.
It is. Hi, Jane Theory. I gave them credit for trying something new, and I did too. Jane. But they didn't know where to go with the story, and it fell apart for me. Same here. It seems like, and maybe it's not the writer's fault, but I'm pretty sure it is. It usually is. But maybe they wanted to go somewhere and they were told not to. But then if you can't go there, then go somewhere different where there's a better payoff, right? I mean, as a writer, you don't want to stick with it if you can't. If you have a better ending in mind, you want to get to that better ending somehow. Retool it. I don't know. I've written a couple of comic books, and I wouldn't consider myself a writer, so I don't know. Let's get we're gonna get the ones. I can't pull up this article because that's from my Doctor Who video, and it's in Penthouse, and I don't know how much YouTube would like a Penthouse article up. Alexandra Marshall, if you're out there, I am indeed finally doing a video on the article you sent me about a year ago, because I think it's time, because it brings the fucking truth. Oh, does it bring the truth? YouTube's not going to like this video. They're not going to like it. Well, I mean, it's, again, the doctor's a fucking dude. He's a dude. That's just flat out. It doesn't work. You have to change so much to make it work in the show. It's not the show anymore. So therefore it doesn't work. Valiant Renegade for $100. Thank you. Damn it, Valiant Renegade. Gentlemen, my YouTube inspirations, as always. I smell a setup. Kathleen Kennedy will get a huge Mickey payoff to retire without a fuss when her contract expires in October. And she will be made to sign a lifetime NDA. Until then, the Bobs will publicly praise Biz 101, my video this week. Sure. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen whenever she leaves. That is probably what's going to happen. She'll get an award. She'll get an Atta Girl, right? They're not going to publicly shame her like they should.
No.
But no.
No, that's not the way that they're going to do it. No.
She'll eventually go. We usually don't do this, but it was the member stream. By the way, my member stream is going to be on Nerdrotic Live. I decided to record it, got the permission of everybody, and you're going to see what goes on in the member streams. We were taking a look at Kathleen Kennedy's plastic surgery work. My God, it's extensive. I didn't realize how extensive. Like, that is a brand new woman. She's got like a Michael Jackson nose now.
Oh my.
Yeah, she's got a lot of work done. Now, what does that got to do with anything? Vanity. I understand you're in Hollywood, but I mean, you're a producer. You're not like in the movies.
Right.
Michael Tynan for $50. Cal exit money. Be well, good sir. Thank you. Hitting the road in a couple of weeks. Very excited. The house hunting begins in a couple of weeks. Serious house hunting. Because we're going to be, they said we were going to be in the red, and we still might be in our little red. We're in a purple tier, Doomcock. We might be in a red tier, which means we can go inside some more places. California movie theaters, theme parks, and venues at limited capacity are supposed to open on April 1st, April Fool's Day. You don't find that suspicious at all?
Very interesting.
But,
April Fools.
Yes, Disneyland is opening on April 1st. Movie theaters are opening on April 1st, right in time for summer blockbuster season.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. I don't think it will, but we'll see.
We will. The theaters are supposed, I think it's going to be 25%.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's not going to be enough to make billions of dollars.
No, not really.
Not even close.
And besides, what is out there that's that good that, we're really looking forward to that much? I don't know.
Oh, there was Black Widow opens in 2 months. 2 months? A little less than 2 months.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not really looking forward to it.
Good point. Good point. No, I'm not either. I'm not either. And I've said this before, but if I didn't have a channel, it would be something I would wait to watch at home.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't rush to the theater to go see Black Widow. It's like, I know she's dead. They're going to try to push this blonde Black Widow on it. I'm not going to care. And then there'll be a stinger that leads into the bigger scheme of things. And as it stands right now, Captain Marvel is the head of the MCU. She's the straw that stirs the drink.
Yep. Sadly.
All right. Kinnell living his 2-inch dreams. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Here, a great way to search what we want to add a bookmark. I want to see the super chats. There we go. So we can get the super chats that are specifically to you. And then we can see if there's donations. We're going to go over the donation list a little bit here. So we got Bogey for $5. This is a Streamlabs donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Way to circumvent YouTube. I can't help. And that's that little link on the top, by the way. And that was requested for about a year, and I finally did it. I can't help but see the parallels between Tolkien's story of Morgoth hijacking the creator's song, and was it being done with everything? What's everything being done in culture right now? They're hijacking characters that aren't their own and twisting them. Oh my God, Bogey.
Very good.
I almost should. I read a Song of Ice and Fire chapter. I should totally fucking read that. I should read that sometime, because that is fucking true. The Song of Creation does get bogarted by Morgoth and fucking fucked up, and that's where evil comes from. Yeah, I'm wondering how they're going to portray that. How are they going to do Lord of the Rings, Doomcock? I mean, Lord of the Rings is essentially that world. Like, gods exist, and it's God.
Mm-hmm.
It's a single male God.
Let's change it.
They'll make it like Frances McDormand, probably.
Exactly, which was terrible, by the way.
Yeah.
She was so flat. Otherwise, that was the worst part of the show. She was so flat, so boring. Could have been really grand, and it just, man, talk about disposable element. God was disposable on Good Omens.
From Digi Akuma for $10. Says, Hail Gary and Doomcock. I'm trying to see if I'm mispronouncing this. It says, nice to see you here. We've been passing the time and coal as cucumbers, passing some rock jokes in chat. Oh, that's Disney has clearly lost their marbles to come up with such an interesting character. Cough, lazy. Cough. Yeah, dude. I mean, like, that's why when I first heard it, I was shocked. I thought it was a troll. Then, I mean, you should be laughing your ass off, but I'm more like stunned how fucking cringe that is. Like, they really produced that. They put that out there. So now we're at the point where, no, the most talented people are not working in Hollywood. Like, not even like these are, I mean, like, it's going to come tumbling down now. I mean, like, Robert Meyer Burnett's got to be pulling his fucking hair out, because he is more talented than anybody writing fucking Star Trek. So are you. And you're seeing these people get fucking work. Now, maybe you don't want to work there, and I'd understand that. But God, it must be frustrating if you're actually a talented writer. I mean,
it's very demoralizing, because these idiots don't have the talent, shouldn't be there. They're just taking up space that could have been actually given to somebody that deserves it, man. Deserves it. God damn, you don't get to be a great writer without years and years and years of attention and work and suffering, agonizing over what you write, making it as good as possible, rewriting and rewriting again and again. And this kind of garbage, like Ruin Johnson doing his first draft toss-off script for Last Jedi, and the shit you see on the High Republic, it's just an insult to the very idea of trying, of actually giving a damn. It's sad.
It really is. And I mean, it's a great time to be independent, but that's a hard way to go, man. You got to do everything on your own. But honestly, if we want, there's going to be a huge place for, like, if you want to tell a sword and sorcerer story, or a sandals and swords story, that shit's wide open, because Hollywood's not going to produce that shit anymore. Like, straight up toxic male, I'm a barbarian or whatever, and I'm like fighting, pitched battles and fucking half naked women and armor and fucking big swords and shit like that. That's going to have to be in the independent sphere. And that's where it started. quite frankly. So maybe that's great. But that's what I would say. I love that shit. And I know a lot of people love that shit. We're never going to stop loving that shit. So we need to get it from somewhere. It'll just be a little harder to find. You'll have to work a little harder. But that's the way it goes. I'm going to share this real quick. We just got a few to go over here. All right. So we've got the donations from Streamlabs. Crazy Cat Guy for $15. A contribution to the road trip. Looking forward to the trip or dreading it. No, looking forward to it. I can't wait to hit the road. I'm so fucking cooped up. I've been in California. I usually leave California once or twice a year. So I can't wait to get the fuck out. Like, seriously. There's an article that EVS covered on one of the streams about the second comics blacklist. Yes, I did see that. I was going to actually cover that one tomorrow because it gets in that's a long one. The author created the perfect term for these SJWs that cancel people, social terrorists. Did you see the scheduling snafu with SM and Lewis? I don't know what the scheduling snafu is.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
With Finbar Hooley, throw in the chat what the SM and Lewis is. I probably should know that, and I don't. I'm sorry. Brain farting right now. Rock and roll, Gary. It's not a boulder. It's a rock. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Cheers to you. And Matt Deckard, Garignac, and Garignac for $3. Again, I'm lost on that one too.
Yeah, me too.
But I probably should know. Awesome. So that is donation, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna check on the super chats to see if there's any that are directly to you, Doomcox. I know you're on a time limit. We're all on time limits today, but let's take a look.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I've been having fun tonight, though. It's been a really good one, in my opinion.
Well, I worked on a Doctor video like all day. It's almost done. Then I got to get on WandaVision, which I'll probably work on a little bit tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to take my time with it because there's already people go, what's the problem with it? Well, then I want to be detailed on like what I know the problems are, which are extensive, to be honest with you. So that's going to take a couple days. I'm just okay. All right, we're good. There was only a couple directly to you, and we are solid. So if you want to ditch out of here, sir, you can.
I probably stay a few more minutes, maybe 10 more minutes, or and then it'll be about midnight. Then I guess I ought to probably get to bed, get up, and get to work.
We'll go down some of these right now. Then, to be fair, in the old EU, they had sentient force sensitive crystals, but they had to be plugged into droid bodies in order to interact with the world and do stuff. That's an idea that makes sense. From John Balderdash for $10. Absolutely. Sure. No, I mean, like if you want to have a sentient rock and it means something, yeah, but he's a navigator on a ship, which requires movement. Does Leo DeGay carry him around or something? Like,
how does he see? How does he manipulate the controls? How does he communicate? It's a rock.
Now, these crystals you're talking about, like they're sentient, like a plant is sentient. Okay. But this guy's like supposed to be like communicating with people and stuff. Big difference. Lucasfilm at their laziest managed to give us a rock with more personality than Brie Larson, says Brian Kim.
So far, true. So far, true.
Thank you for the $5. John Boulderdash, $5. I have to disagree. In geology, I have rocks that have more. I have rocks than I love rocks more than most people consider reasonable, and I still consider Geode incredibly stupid. There you go. There you go.
So a pro rock person still feels that it sucks.
John Balderdash. I totally fucking dig. I've gotten like ever since I got into my ancient civilization kick, which is a couple decades old. I fucking love geology now. Because it's part of archaeology, and a huge part of it. And I don't want to go down the road, but knowing, especially with stone structures, you really get into it. It's very cool. Culture Casino says so much of the bald for $2. Well, not here, but that was from I guess a former Chicago radio guy, has a podcast now, and he saw one of our live streams. He saw us talking about the firing of Gina Carano and called us QAnon. There's a couple people out there who call us QAnon. I mean, fucking reaching, dude. We're talking about fucking Star Wars and Marvel. QAnon, fuck off. And he said that, and he said look at these guys, and they collect their action figures and collect their DVDs. And we're like,
yeah, so so what, asshole?
He got called out by Sheila Alien, and I guess he apologized.
Oh, okay.
He was picking on the bald members of our panel. He called them the balds. The Geek Blend. Hey, thanks for the $9.99, and thanks for understanding. I was supposed to be live streaming with them yesterday, but it was Melissa's birthday, my lovely wife's birthday. So, and I got mixed up on dates. So I will be on their channel next Saturday at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Geek Blend. Jay Nat for $2. Moon Knight versus Daredevil would be cool. Well, they've teamed up and smacked around before. And yeah, if it was Charlie Cox, and I like Oscar Isaac being cast as Moon Knight, I think that's perfectly fine. I think he'd be a damn good Mark Spector. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's good. And if it's not woke, it'll probably be a lot of fun, or not.
Yeah, but what's not woke these days? I don't know. I hope not, but we'll see.
No, I've got it. Like, there's still shit I'm going to try. Like if they bring Charlie, I mean, again, here's an example of why woke is more important than making money. A Charlie Cox coming back into a Daredevil show would be immensely popular. It would do very, very well. It was one of the most watched things on Netflix ever, and it's the best thing Netflix has ever done, and it's also the best thing Marvel has ever done. Now, some people might disagree with that, but most people agree it's very, very fucking good.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there waiting to be made. Everybody wants to be involved, including the people who were originally involved in season 1. Stephen Knight, former Buffy scribe, who is a great fucking writer. I'd have that guy write anything superhero. I never understood why companies have a problem with fan created films. It literally promotes the brand and increases exposure for franchises, says Martin Keatings for £5. They used to understand that, Doomcock. And why don't you think they understand that anymore?
Well, I think the priorities have changed. I think that they're more occupied with the fear of the woke mob and, all this kind of platforming messaging rather than narrative. I for the life, I still can't fathom how these corporations can stomach leaving all this money on the table. They are basically shunning fans and driving fans off, and we're the ones that spend money. Look at your backdrop there. If you could see in my lair the number of toys and comics and DVDs I've got, we're the guys that spend all that money. We're the ones, and not these woke wankers, but they are absolutely turning us away. If they don't want our money, okay, you won't get it. And you're not getting a dime from me anymore.
Oh yeah, that it'll be quite easy. It's great not spending that money, Doomcock, because we can spend it other places, buy older comic books, or save the fucking money. This is the thing. I say it in my Doctor Who video. It's like, I've said my piece. We're going to cover this shit and call it out. But dude, I'm fine Like, I can go find something else to do. There is enough books out there I haven't read, enough comics, enough movies I haven't seen, that I'd be taking care of the rest of my life. I just like want art to stick around because I think it is important. What Chris Chibnall, Kathleen Kennedy, and Alex Kurtzman and Jar Jar Abrams have robbed a lot of fans of is a lot of comfort. All right. Because remember, J.J. Abrams said he doesn't want people to be comfortable anymore. But the thing is, that's why this shit exists. Comfortable people need to exist and they need to feel comfortable in their life to the point where they have disposable income, which is a very new term to an economy. And that's what this economy relies on. Whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to bend the knee to, you still need disposable income. And if there's no disposable income and comfort, you don't fucking exist. And Star Trek, Doctor Who, and Star Wars, more Star Trek and Doctor Who, were comfort food that were occasionally very prolific and poignant. But like, it was entertainment, sometimes light entertainment, sometimes it reached people right into their soul. But how many times have you heard in a live stream that you probably did last Friday? And how many times have I heard people saying, fucking Star Trek got me through the death of my sister, got me through the death of my cat, gets me through my depression every day. I mean, people say that about our live streams now, and it's heavy to hear that stuff, right?
It is. It is.
And you know, yeah, and you know how many it got you through shit. We've all had times where there's little safety net of 1 hour of an episode or something like that cooled our brains off a little bit so we can get through the day, you know? And then there's just purely enjoying it too. I just love this shit. I love swimming in it because I fucking love it. But then that part of it's gone though. The part of that kind of loyalty that the corporations don't understand. And to go to the fan film thing, you're not going to have people making fan films of your shit much longer. And that's a sign of a healthy signs of a healthy franchise, making fan films, filled toy aisles, t-shirts seen everywhere, people talking about it everywhere, YouTube videos talking about that subject doing very well, huge Facebook groups on that subject or for that property. And then they start dwindling, and then nobody cares anymore. And there's a point where you can't get people to care ever again. Like
Exactly, man. You're quite right. I mean, you know, that's the point that I'm making, is that even if Star Trek gets rid of Kurtzman tomorrow, the damage has been so extensive and the fans have been run off with such a sour taste in their mouths that, do you think that even if they brought back Ron Moore or somebody great like that the fans are just going to return? They're going to be leery. They're going to, in fact, they're even paying attention at all. You know, I mean, people these days tend to filter out shit that is no longer relevant to their lives because of the sensory overload of too many, news items and pleas for attention and commercials and so on. It's a bombardment. And once you've closed that door, I'm really not sure that people are going to open it up again very willingly, very readily. I don't think so. So shit, I don't know that people are ever going to come back. And it's never, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who are never going to be the way that they were. Nope. Never again will they have that depth of passion, that fan base. You know, people like us are hanging on out of bitter anger and just wanting to document its fall, like by God going to the wake out of respect. But listen, it's never, it may come back in some form, in some way, but it's never going to hit those heights again. You have burned that bridge.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Russell T. Davies could come back tomorrow with David Tennant, and it still wouldn't be as many people as if you would have just stayed the course. But instead you got fucking fancy. You decided your ideology mattered more, and you wanted to use it as a platform because you couldn't. I mean, again, this shit doesn't work on its own by itself. You can't build anything with woke storytelling and intersectional storytelling. It's only there to burn through whatever platform you decide to use until you get to the next one. And the fact of the matter is, Doctor Who is headed towards oblivion. It's headed towards, it'll always be around and it'll be remembered like Zorro's remembered now, and Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon. It'll be that old-timey thing that people used to like that never's really going to just ever be what it was.
Yeah.
You know? And, I accept that. I accept it. It's sad, though, because it didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen. It was fucking sacrificed on the altar of agenda. And so if people, just make sure you record the history books correctly, folks. If people go, well, it just ran its course. No, some fucking idiot named Chibnall turned the Doctor into a female and then wrote her as a male, didn't even write her as a female, and told shitty stories for 2 years, and people stopped watching. It was really that simple.
It really was. And one more gauge of the health of a franchise that you didn't mention, look at the kids in school. Look at what the kids are wearing, what kind of lunch boxes they have, what they're talking about, what they're playing on the playgrounds. Boy, I tell you, these kids are not interested in this shit anymore. I don't know what they are interested in, but I hear it from teachers and stuff. No Star Wars stuff on the playgrounds. It used to be Marvel stuff, but I don't know if that's even going to prevail through the MCU Phase 4.
It's Marvel and video game stuff, for younger kids like Fortnite and shit. But no, Marvel's still around. Star Wars is kids aren't into Star Wars. Disney's just fucking dumb. They bought Star Wars to bring more boys to the yard, and they ended up making it for girls. It's Star Wars for girls. and why would we disrespect girls like this? Like, girls don't like shit. Girls like good stuff too. That's why they like Star Wars before. Rest in peace, Centerfield Cards and Comics Incorporated in Endicott, New York. We love you, Scott. Snake Oil Sean for $5. I am very sorry to hear that. I don't know when the shop closed, but my condolences to Centerfield Cards and Comics Incorporated. I know what it's like to shut down a store when you don't want to, and it's heartbreaking. It's like losing a family member. So my heart goes out to you. Edward Morris for $4.99. Hey, Gary, do you think it's time for an Orville-like situation for Doctor Who? How do you think something like that would go about happening? Yeah, I think it is. The only hope for Doctor Who now is an absolute reboot, and it just won't work. People like the continuity of Doctor Who is so important, and now it's not important. Now it's just fucking fizzled. Yeah, I watched Timeless Children again just to get revved up for my review, for my video, which was only supposed to be 5 minutes of me talking about, wow, it's been a year since then, and wow, things really suck. Jodie's leaving. It's turned into something else. Hopefully it works. It'll be out tomorrow sometime. I keep getting stuck on the ending, but I just want to make sure I end it right with like, you get triggered. People still get triggered when I say the Doctor's not going to work as a female. And you think most people go, no, it's not. No, it's like people seriously get triggered by that. Like, wah! It's like, no, it doesn't work. It's like changing Spider-Man into a girl. Yes, there's Spider, but you're not like changing Peter Parker into a girl. It will not work. People will not accept it. They will not buy it. It will not sell. It will not be successful. And Doctor Who has not been successful. As each day passes, it loses something else. And now the BBC is fucked. So what do? Do they sell it? I think that's a possibility. Do they go into co-production with an American company? I think that's more of a likely possibility. But right now, that's not the situation. Warner Brothers does not have a single say over Doctor Who. Not one. The only person who has control over Doctor Who is Piers Wenger and some other chick and Chris Chibnall. And it's going to be less episodes. Geode is leaving, and now they can't even sell any merchandise. So I'm of the belief that it might get snipped. Like, they'll do a 60th anniversary. They'll just put it on hiatus.
Yeah.
Forever. Maybe do a 60th anniversary special. But I talked to my guy, and he said they could do that on Big Finish. Big Finish might be big finished.
Oh, well, that's what happens when you throw in your lot with that type.
Yep. I don't buy that shit anymore. And I know God, I used to spend tons of money with them. Let's never forget what happened to Walter Mosley, says George Forrest Jr. for $4.99. No, the man was fired by the very progressive Star Trek that believes in BLM, but they fired a black man and publicly embarrassed him because he was telling an anecdotal story that happened to him, and he used the N-word, which is perfectly fine. And some little bitch snitch fucking ratted him out. And he didn't want to go through the humiliation of going to HR. So he told him to fuck off. And now he's going to get his own show. So good for him. Good. Wish him all the luck in the world. Captain Whammon is now the head of the MCU. Yawn, says Incognito. Oh, I love that fucking name. Incognito. Well done. Hey, Doomcock, it's Mexican Iron Man. Says Gary.
Hail, Mexican Iron Man.
Hail, Mexican Iron Man. Oh, I've got something.
Times are changing. Ladies can do stuff now.
What? Were you saying something? Look, I don't speak Spanish.
Gary, the time is now for our Indiegogo campaign to launch a special 2-volume set, Crisis on Infant Tijuanas, where Emperor Gary unites with Mexican Iron Man and Brown Lantern to save the taco trucks throughout the galaxy. Hail, LOL. Hail, Mexican Iron Man. Orale. It sounds good to me. Crisis on Infinite Tijuanas. If only I could remember most of the times I was there. And I'm not even kidding. I remember going there. I remember coming back. A lot
That's
of what
about it
there. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, brother, I think I'm going to head out now.
All right.
But thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it.
All right. Plug your channel, sir.
Please subscribe to youtube.com/overlorddvd. Also have a Patreon, patreon.com/doomcock, and subscribestar.com/doomcock. Also the Harvey Zone. Y'all have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, Gary.
Look forward to the videos. Good job on the last one. I didn't put it in the description, but I will. He has an alternate channel called the Harvey Zone. He has a Patreon, one of the best Patreons out there. Please subscribe. His link is in the description. And thanks again, brother. Be well.
Thank you. I'll see you later, man. Bye-bye.
Take her easy. Or it easy. Them easy. Or they easy. Or them they easy. I don't know. I'm going to read some super chats. Keep going, folks. So if you don't mind, you're just stuck with little old me. Little old me. How are you beautiful people tonight? Freaking love you guys. Talking about gratitude. I am so grateful every day I get to fucking do this. I can't wait. I love recording videos. I love editing this shit. I love going on my website. I love watching YouTube videos. I watch, that's what usually kind of fucks me up on my videos is I'll stop and I'll watch YouTube videos for like 2 hours. But you guys are so fucking good. It's inspiring. It's inspiring. So thank you. Thank you guys. There we go. Culture Casino. Eternal's image looks like China propaganda art. It does. It does. It really does. Thank you, Culture Casino. Hail. And that's a great head of hair you got there, buddy. Primer for $2. Disney's hypocrisy in 2 words. Siamese cats. Oh, where's your trigger? There you go, right there. Negative, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for 2 for $5. And it says, keep it up. I will keep it up. I will keep it up. As long as I can. After 4 hours, I'm going to call a doctor, though. I promise. Captain Spire for $2. Good night, you fantastic gentlemen. Be safe. Captain Spire, good night to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Always keeping people caffeinated, and that's a good thing. Culture Casino for $25. Happy birthday to Mrs. Nerdrotic. That's right. That's right. My very young wife has just turned 21 again. So I know I'm a cradle robber. I'm a cradle robber. No, I've actually been married for God, I should know this off the top of my head. 18 years? 18 years? So it'll be 20 in 2023. So it's 18 years. I've been married for 18 years. I've known her since 1985. So I've known her for a long time. She is a fantastic woman, the boss. And I hope you had the best day. We did. We had a party last night. with people over at the house, and we weren't wearing masks, and we're fine. We're going to be fine. Saw some old friends who live around the area who I grew up with. Haven't seen some of them in like 10 years. It was fucking awesome. Andre Fernandez for $50, I'm sure, or 50 Argentinian pesos. I'm sure they would address what she did to the people in the next movie. They will realize she mind fucked a whole town. The story was a total failure. Yeah, I mean, they will. And I could totally agree. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going to supposedly pay off in the next movie. But here's the deal, Andre. And I know thank you, by the way, for the $50, Andres. Why should I believe them? Because they set up a lot of stuff in this season and it paid off for shit. And it wasn't all the fans. So all of you people trying to get on the Disney knob to get a little crumb of the Disney coña, stop it. Stop blaming fans. Blaming fans is a failure. Fans do not write the show. Fans like what they like and they don't like what they like. If people are disappointed, fucking deal with it. They're fans. You say, you know what? We'll try to do better next time. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. The shit's been paid for. And I agree with Doomcock. The WandaVision has no rewatchability as far as the earlier episodes again, other than that gimmick. But there's no reason to, because that big setup we were hoping to get, that they were hinting towards heavily, never happened. Who in the fuck is Ralph? Was Ralph the familiar? Ralph Boner? The fucking... it wasn't anything. What was Quicksilver? He wasn't anything. Well, she mentioned she couldn't use the doppelganger for a dead body, so she had to improvise. So it was just an accident that Evan Peters looked like Quicksilver from the X-Men. Then why bother doing it at all? Because you're hinting that the X-Men are coming? We kind of figured that when you bought Fox. And you're not even going to call them the X-Men. And as I've said before, I'm figuring by the time the MCU is done, we're going to miss the Fox X-Men. Just like by the time Jar Jar Abrams is done with the DCEU, we're going to be begging for Zack Snyder back. By the way, I saw the storyboards for what was supposed to come with the Snyder Cut. Fucking looks awesome. Too bad we're going to get J.J. Abrams DCEU. That's what he always wanted. He wants to be Kevin Feige. JJ, you're a lot more like Kathleen Kennedy than Kevin Feige. JJ, you're never going to be Spielberg, but you got paid better than he ever did. You didn't deserve any of it because you're a fucking hack. I'm sure they would address. I read that one. Disney needs to take pointers from Cobra Kai. Every Hollywood does. A show where everyone learns from each other. Women and men are equal in the storyline and learn from another, and they also fail but grow from it. Easy to do. The only thing Cobra Kai is slightly getting a little bad on is women and men fighting, but the men don't get to hit the women. Like if they're gonna go, if a woman's gonna go in there and throw with the dude, you got to be able to stand up with the dude. And the reason they don't is because it does send kind of a bad message, because upper body strength does matter, especially in a fight. And when you get hit by somebody who weighs 75 pounds more than you feel every ounce of that 75 pounds in your face. Thank you, Gomer Kyle, for 79 for the $10. I appreciate it. But no, Cobra Kai is great. I have gone back and rewatched it 3 times, and I want to rewatch it again. I get so much enjoyment out of that's like it's the best show, period. It's not even debatable anymore. It's the best show out there. It's better than Stranger Things. It's better than everything. If the Orville would come back, I might have a debate, but I think Cobra Kai is better than the Orville. And I love the Orville. You know, I love the Orville. I fucking love the Orville. But Cobra Kai is better. Cobra Kai is better. I I think Doctor's gender swap was planned. In season 8, they made the Master female, and in 9, they hinted that the Doctor used to be a little girl. Critical Ramblings for $5. No, that wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. They might have made a one-off statement in season 8, but Capaldi and Moffat did that a lot. The Doctor's also gay, if you believe that, because there was a gay guy and the Doctor went, call me. But that, like, Moffat did a lot of that stuff. It doesn't count the Morbius Doctors, which a lot of people refer to Critical Ramblings. The Morbius Doctors was a sight gag for the producers, and quite frankly, it could have been a projection from Tom Baker, or from the Fourth Doctor anyway, but it was never supposed to be canonized. It never was. Nobody ever fucking talked about it until now. And also, Critical Ramblings, Chris Chibnall has come out and said that they came up with the concept when he joined the series. So if you watch one of my videos on it, I do believe it's my second to last. It's my second to last Doctor Who video. I did it late last year. It's the Timeless Children failure was planned from the start, something like that. But yeah. And yes, they made the Master female as an experiment, But here, let me read you a little hint of the article in my video that kind of tells you how this experiment failed. Human sexuality is deeply rooted in our entertainment preferences, and despite rainbow logos and social media giants, the overwhelming majority of an audience remains straight. Not everybody, but the majority. This is not the first time that Doctor Who changed the gender of a well-known character. Michelle Gomez took over the role of the Master as the Master in 2014 as a test run for the audience acceptance. Oddly, this gender, and that again, this was a test run, they were undecided. Oddly, the gender swap worked for the same reason that Doctors failed. Changing the gender, the Master transformed the Doctor's rival bromance into a traditional love interest, accidentally contradicting the BBC's woke agenda. That is from Alexandra Marshall. That is a preview of my next video. I also have some audio in there that's very interesting, sent to me from Job of Bean, Stephen Moffat discussing this issue many years ago. R. Fletch for $2. Thank you for the super chat, Critical Ramblings. R. Fletch for $2. Crush that like button. Crush it like Quint. TM. Carrion Witch in Residence for $5. Gentlemen, check out Pacific Rim The Black on Netflix. It's Pacific Rim meets Mad Max, worth a look. What is it? Is it a movie? Is it animated? Hang on. Let me go check it right now. Oh, it's animated. Oh, okay. I thought it was live action. It can't be like Mad Max because it's animated. I thought you had me going there. I was like, oh, is it something? Yeah. I mean, like, I like animated stuff. I like anime, but I will check it out though, Carrion. Thank you. Lucy for $5. Hail. I didn't want to finish WandaVision because Endgame felt so final. It feels weird to get more MCU after the equivalent of a tied up ribbon. It does. And what they're going to do is end up bringing every character back to life. Like, they could totally bring back Tony Stark. I think they should, and recast him. But what Captain America did at the end of Endgame was so not Captain America. It was a fucking terrible decision. It was selfish, and Cap wouldn't do that. But yeah, I mean, nobody stays dead in comics, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. That's the way comics should be. I wanted Vision to come back. And I'm glad he came back. Jin Okubo, thank you for the 200 yen. I appreciate it. Nothing to say there, just the 200 yen. Andre Fernandez for $50. Hi, guys. I believe we won't see the X People or Fantastic Four for several years. This show could have been good. It was a wet fart. Only Wanda and Vision. Absolutely agree. Several years, like 4? Yeah, I would agree with you there. Like, I don't think we'll see X-Men or Fantastic Four. What did it take them 2 years to make a movie? They haven't announced shit yet. And everything's been pushed off for 2 years. So, yes, I would agree with you. Jane Theory for $5. I gave them credit for trying something new, but they didn't know where they were going and the story fell apart for me. Same here, Jane. I know I read that earlier. Thank you. William Merchant for $5. I am working on my own card game. Give your honest opinion. If the characters look interesting, check out my pinned tweet. I would thank you very much, William. I will check it out in just a moment. Thank you. It's a Trap Productions for $5. I hear you, Gary. I try talking about Godzilla all the time and sharing the love, and people look at me like I'm nuts. Been a big Godzilla fan since 1985. Dude, just keep sharing it. You know? That's okay. I shared my love for the Expanse forever. You know, I passed it on, and you know, I it sucks what happened to it, but I will keep doing that. And that's why, listen, if you're willing to take a chance, and possibly if something everything's going to go woke from Hollywood, but Superman and Lois looks like a concerted effort not to do that, or at least they're trying to hook people in. But the problem is they better stick the landing now, because I'm sure the data shows that the people who are watching this are giving the CW another chance. Don't fuck it up, CW, because this is your last chance. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. Your card game? Is it a card game, you said? Yeah. William Marchant says, I am working on my own card game. Give your honest opinion. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It's at Broken Render. At Broken Render. It's called Roach. Yeah, I'll preview one picture here. Hang on, give me just a second. Yeah, I usually don't do this because it's like there's silences and I got to jump. Maybe someday when I have an engineer, I can do this stuff faster, but that's usually why I don't do this stuff, because I hate stopping. But we can look at one, and that looks pretty good. So it's at Broken Render. It's at Broken Render. Well done, sir. I hear Lyndon Hall did a great video on Thor Lack of Thunder, one of our Aussie crew with Lethal and Raging. Tons of great videos and pictures, says Culture Casino for $5. Cool. Thank you, Culture. Susan Dolan for $5. Clooney's Batman and Robin was written by a bunch of 5-year-olds high on sugar and crack chugging jolt. Susan, well said. As a matter of fact, like when it was written, well, I was sober back then, but I mean, like I drank a lot of jolt, did a lot of crack. Well, not crack, but meth. Thank you, R. Fletch, for $5. I still think I would have come up with a better Batman. I appreciate the donation. Dave Main for $10. Disney wasted such a good opportunity. George, John, and Dave all under the same roof, but they let KK keep burning it down. Yeah, listen, she obviously has a giant fucking chip on her shoulder and a massive fucking ego, and Her face is only out there. Her fucking plastic surgery mug is only out there when things are successful. And then when something's successful that she had little to nothing to do with, she approved it. She was there, but she didn't write any fucking scripts or come up with any concepts for The Mandalorian. Sure, she's Jon Favreau's boss. That was successful because of Jon Favreau. You lose Jon Favreau, then you're stuck with Filoni and Kennedy, which is going to be a Star Wars that, no normie is going to give a fuck about. Sure, Rebels had its fans. But did it make any new Star Wars fans, or did it just keep the other ones around? I'm guessing it's the latter. Listen, Star Wars is wearing thin. Like, I mean, I got into Star Wars in 1977. I've forgotten most of the shit I fucking read. Before I hate to pull the card, but a lot of people talking about the stuff now weren't even fucking born when I was reading that shit. And it had a second, it had a third life, but the Star Wars that you think you know and love doesn't exist. And the Rock shit, that's what it is. George Lucas's Star Wars will never come back. Gary, I have decided on my pronouns. They include dude, his dudeness, dude, or El Duderino. If you're not into the whole brevity thing, Fat Gandalf, love brevity. Thank you for $4.99. I appreciate it. El Duderino. Don't see I Care a Lot on Netflix woke bait and switch. Don't see I Care a Lot on Netflix woke bait and switch. Samurai, I trust you on that one, and thank you for saving me time. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $2. I am with the Geological Empathy and Rights Movement Society, or GERMS, GERMS. Don't be talking smack about our sedimentary brethren, says Phoenix Argus for $5. I sit corrected, sir. Sentence High Republic to lapidation, stoning. Oh, God damn, we missed it. I sentenced to the High Republic to a stoning. Not getting stoned, a stoning. Let me put it this way. Getting stoned by stoners. That's what I sentenced the High Republic to. So a bunch of people can get stoned, pick up a stone, and then stone fucking Lucasfilm. Metaphorically. My prediction for the future of Geode. Soulfiend for £5. You got a link in there. How were you able to get a link in the super chat, buddy? That's interesting. The dice. Yeah. Sulfane, thank you for the £5. Elite Spanker for $5. Wimx, the sign of the undateable. The undateable. WOMX. Yeah. I think it saves men a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And ladies, if you like the ladies, saves you a lot of trouble too. You don't want to fuck with that shit. Rand Mori, 82 for $5. Liking or disliking something is a feeling, but mocking something as silly is an overt choice. Indeed. Absolutely indeed. It is my choice to mock the shit out of crappy Star Wars. That is true. Law is War for $5. I bet Geode crash lands on this stupid freaking salt planet and evolves into a stupid freaking crystal foxes. He was their hero all along. He was. Blaster Master for $5. Did you go to my website? Or is this just a coincidence? Con Air, 1997. Someone points at the High Republic and asks, what is that? John Malkovich retorts, that is a rock. Well, it's funny that you bring up Con Air, Blaster Master, because I do believe, let me double check before I blab my mouth. What time is it? Oh, it's 10:20. It's getting late. I'm looking for a response. Sorry for the silence there. Problem being, yes, you can take a clip from Friday Night Tights whenever you want. That's absolutely fine. I don't care. All right. So Thursday, no time set. Critical Drinker and I will be talking about Con Air. One of my favorite fucking movies ever. So I don't know the time, but Thursday, Critical Drinker, yours truly, Con Air. Be there. Be there. I am going to be introducing okay, so I'm going to be hitting the road. Schedule's going to be fucked up like pretty much from here on out. As far as live streams, Friday Night Tights will always be on time. Nerdrotic Nooners will be there. Time might vary, but they'll be there. I'm going to do videos, but as far as doing other stuff, I'm going to be a little limited. And I'll let you know, but I will do, I'm going to start introducing a live stream where it's going to be a consistently scheduled kind of chill stream. We're going to talk about shit we like. So I'll let you know when I decide on a date for that. There's also some other news as far as the BB&C is concerned. That's good. It's good news. And I'll let you know. Gary, did you ever read Cosmic Odyssey? I always thought it would have made a great movie, but DC will never be able to do it. No, I haven't. I will check it out though. Magna Tempest, thank you for the $5. Terminus Est for $5. Geode would be the shittiest bounty hunter ever. It couldn't even track. You couldn't even track its own query. No. Oh. MCU had Groot. Well, make a rock named Geode. Bastard, that's probably what they were thinking. They're like, this will be just like Groot. Fucking dumb motherfuckers. The pilot is right. Geode is a party animal. Geode is hard as a rock from taking too much Viagra. Oh my God. Bob 252. Thank you for the $5. Killing me. Big as 169. Hail Doomcock. I know you had a rough few weeks in Texas, but did you or Gary read my email? Also, why does it feel like Superman and Lois is something to keep us from complaining about Black Superman? Oh, yeah, kind of. Well, Black Superman is not going to be Clark Kent, apparently. So it's going to be they're adapting the other one of the other two or three they could adapt. And they want to do their own Black Panther. They think they can equal Black Panther. That's the rumor I heard. No, I think it's Hollywood acknowledging that they've been very divisive. Now, do they stick with it? I don't know. But a lot of the divisiveness in our country, big as 169, is because of Hollywood. And now that they seemingly got what they want, well, they want to calm down again. And they want some of the people to come back, and they're not going to come back. So we were trying to tell them for 4 years, Jag for $5. Disney won't acknowledge how hated their creators are. WB won't acknowledge how liked their creators are. Thank God for Snyder and Gendy's Primal, right? Yes. Warner Brothers and Disney are both filled with fucking egomaniacal, narcissistic fucking retards. There's no better way to put it. That's pretty much it. You have Snyder, you had something that would have worked. You might not have loved the Snyder Cut, but at least it's not fucking filled with identity politics, and I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see it. And Disney just buys shit and then fucks it up. Now, I don't know if Kevin Feige has been kind of a gatekeeper keeping Disney from fucking up Marvel. I think part of that is true, but I think Kevin Feige has drank the Kool-Aid, and I think he's like, I've done 22 movies. Now I'm just going to do whatever. I'm going to be lazy from here on out and collect money. But the thing is, his legacy is going to get destroyed within a year if he goes woke. I mean, he has. That's the thing. Like, it's already woke. It's already happened. Captain Marvel was intersectional as hell. Okay. Black Panther was woke marketing. And my God, was WandaVision not ruined by intersectional feminism? It was absolutely ruined and derailed by it. And it didn't need to exist in the show. And if you left out the whole sword thing, I would have enjoyed it more. I see Doomcock, Nerdrotic, and G&G are listed as producers, among others, on IMDb, says Roger Zimmerman for $5. Yeah, for my shows. And I'm listed as producer on their shows. I mean, we do like produce our own voice, so I guess so. Geeks and Gamers is doing a charity. Well, it's not. It's Zack Snyder is going to be on Uche. I'm going to get your last name wrong. Uneri's channel, with Ryan Cannell from RK Outpost, Lethal Lightning, and Uche. So those are the three main Snyder Cut guys, and they're gonna interview Zack Snyder on Uche's channel. Now, this is what we were supposed to announce on Friday Night Tights, but I guess they were waiting on a video that we still haven't gotten yet. Then the cat went out of the bag, because I almost announced it on my Twitter. I almost said there's going to be an announcement. So Jeremy said, no, can't announce it. And then Zack Snyder ended up blabbing it later that night. So I guess the link is already up, and it's on Uche's channel and not Geeks and Gamers. Because I told a couple people that it was on Geeks and Gamers, so I was wrong on that one. I must have misheard them or something. I don't know. But that's the charity drive is it's open now. You can donate now. It's for suicide prevention. And there'll be an interview of Zack Snyder on Uche's channel. And I think they're going to auction off some exclusive content. And I believe that's the 17th. Now, as far as who's going to be a part of it, I know Ryan's going to be there, Lethal, Uche, and I think Jeremy. Don't know beyond that. So, and Zack Snyder. So, go check it out, and I'll promote it a little more. We'll talk about it on Friday Night Tights. It's for a good cause. So we want to raise as much money as possible. If you have it, I mean, like shit, kind of in a recession right now. So I understand. But suicide prevention is something near and dear to my heart. Okay. Cause I've lost a couple of friends to suicide, very close friends to suicide. And I can't imagine losing a kid. Zack Snyder got a raw fucking deal. Jeremy and Zach, and I believe Uche have all spoken. So Zach is fully aware of what Geeks and Gamers, what kind of channel it is. So I know there's some hate on Twitter. I'm just going to say it's misguided. For the people who are going, Zach doesn't know what he's doing. Zach knows what he's fucking doing. Zach's a professional in Hollywood. Listen, fan on the internet, Zach knows what he's doing. Okay. Maybe you just let Zach be Zach and do what he wants to do to raise as much money as possible for a charity. If anybody tries to shit on this charity, anybody tries to go after it, I will be all over you like stink on shit, just so you know that. I usually don't do that stuff, but if you try to undermine a fucking charity, I mean, you're soulless. So, and I'm sure there's people out there that are going to try. But it's a damn good thing. Uche pulled this together, and like fucking Ryan and Lethal and Uche are stoked. And these guys have been Snyder Cut guys from day one. And I couldn't be happier for them. It's fucking cool. It's cool to watch this. Like I'm looking forward to the Snyder Cut. I've never hated Batman versus Superman. I think fucking Watchmen is a masterpiece, and I've been a fan of Zack Snyder's, but I'm not on the Snyder Cut bandwagon. I'm just looking forward to the movie. I like Batfleck. I love Henry Cavill as Superman, and it's mainly because I'm a Superman fan that I'm going to watch it. But I will review it very fairly. I think Ezra Miller is a fucking terrible Flash. I'll tell you that right now. I saw the clip today where he's running like a little fucking duck and he looks fucking terrible. Like there's no Snyder cut that can fix Ezra Miller as Flash. And then he's saving Iris West and he's supposed to be like enamored. And I'm like, wow. I ain't buying Ezra Miller as being enamored by any woman anytime soon. Okay. There's some guys who can pull it off who are good actors. And there's just some, it's okay. You're gay. It's okay. And he likes to strangle pregnant women and get away with it. But there you go. And that's the thing, I'm always going to get in trouble like that because I'm going to keep being me. I don't want to ever be compromised. I would like to thank, there's a couple of guys out there who follow me quietly and still like what I do, even though they vehemently disagree with a lot of what I say, a lot of the shit I say. Seth. So thanks. Nicholas Harton. Hail Gary Doomcock. Geode, its name should be Tombstone, as in R.I.P. Star Wars. Yes, Nicholas Harton. I like that one. And Perry Chan put together a fucking great video. I think it's got almost 40,000 fucking views on motherfucking Nerdrotic Daily. By the way, I've opened up memberships. It isn't approved yet by YouTube. As soon as it's approved by YouTube, I've opened up memberships on Nerdrotic Daily for Perry. And it's a flat rate. It's $4.99 a month, and you get all the videos early. You get all the Perry Chan greatness. His editing greatness, and then you're stuck with me early. Dixon Cider for $5 with all the destruction from entertainment to identity politics. How much longer are we going to tolerate this? We're going to have to. It's completely up to you, Dixon Cider. I would say, voice your opinion, sit on your wallet. Now, there's a lot of people out there. You know who you are. You're watching right now. And your constant complaint is, we're the problem in fandom. Like, fandom would be this awesome, peaceful place, and entertainment would be great if we weren't around. Your entertainment would be shit, and the fandom would be boring. And the people who say that are very, very new. Very new to fandom. Like, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And that's fine. Like, they can be, I'm not saying they can't be here. I'm not saying that at all. You can be wherever the fuck you want to be. But, there's a couple, you buy yourself a little rubber Dr. Doom mask and a couple of MCU shirts and you think you're an expert on fucking fandom. Check yourself. Pay your dues. Read some of the books. Read some of the comics. Not just watch the movies. That's where my snobbery comes in a little bit. But pay your dues. That's all. And then you're welcome. Take your lumps. I did. I want my bird. Iron Man 2 Rogue for $2. Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. But I like Iron Man 2. I do. I just think the ending was so abrupt. Like, they fought him for like 2 minutes and ripped his thing out, and that was it. And I can't stand Don Cheadle now. I think Don Cheadle, you know how I see Don Cheadle? As his dumb cowboy character in oh my God, in Boogie Nights. Love fucking Boogie Nights. A great movie. But yeah, his cowboy character is kind of like this guy who's always off on the trends and a little dumb. That's Don Cheadle. Just wanted to thank you guys for making my Sunday nights. Hail, says Romulo Garcia. Well, you're welcome. Thank you for making my Sunday nights. Dixon Cider, it's good to see from and say hi to Mike Hunt for me. Mike Hunt. Vendor 02 for 50 Mexican dollars. Hasbro, it's disappointed. Lucasfilm, right? It's disappointed in Lucasfilm right now. Well, it should be, because they forced them to get rid of their very good selling Gina Carano figure, and now they're going to have pet rocks to replace it. Gina, I know you're watching every second of my live streams, Gina, and I really appreciate that. By the luck you live by, lassie. By the luck you live by, you are so much better off separating your brand from this joke of a brand of Star Wars. And I want you to think about the statement I'm about to make, because I said it earlier. Star Wars is lame. Disney Star Wars is lame. And I want you to think about Doctor Who. And I want you to think about what brought down Margaret Thatcher. And a lot of people thought it was a little statement. I'm not this Margaret Thatcher hater, by the way. But it was a statement that, don't you think she looks tired? Well, Star Wars is just lame. Like, what kid? I mean, like, there's going to be parents out there buying their kids Star Wars stuff. And the kids are going to, like, hopefully if they're good kids, they're going to go, thanks, Mom. And they're going to just hide that shit and never play with it again. That's your brand, Kathleen Kennedy. Unfortunately, the world isn't filled with Steve Weintraubs. Thank God. Well, we wouldn't procreate ever again. Be a bunch of penisless men running around. But if the world was filled with Steve Weintraubs, then yeah, Disney Star Wars would do well. But it's not. Someone watched Doctor Who Stones of Blood, but made the ogre even less interesting, says Commodore Stargazer. Ooh. Well done. Give you a little applause for that lore. I do not know what you all are talking about. Geo had some chiseled abs. Oh, Eric. I'm going to time you out if you ever do that again. Gives a new definition to Rocky Horror, doesn't it? Oh, you barely earned that, Mr. Insanity, for $4.99. I was reading an article today how, like, the whole gender identity thing is this is new to this generation. It's like, shut the fuck up. Talk about Rocky Horror, David Bowie. This shit is new. It's new. It's fucking new. Boys wanting to be girls, girls wanting to be boys. It's new. No, it's not new. I think there's a Blink song that goes like that too. Blink, right? Monday Matt on that ship rock has no brain. Where Monday Matt on that ship rock has no brain, says David for $2. Yeah, I think it's Monday Matt's favorite character, right? Oh God, he's gonna get a little Monday Matt boner because I mentioned his name. Kratosis for 5 Canadian pesos. Someone tell Monday Matt we found his last boulder. It's in Star Wars. What an embarrassment Star Wars has become. I miss when things were good. I do too. Cobra Kai's good. Superman and Lois is good. Watch Superman and Lois, at least the first 2 episodes. Highly recommend them. Primal is good. So there's some stuff out there. And hell, it looks like this Pacific Rim animated or anime thing is good too. Give it a shot. Let me know. Valiant Renegade. Thank you again for the $100 super chat. Thank you. 5 Australian dollars. I will just have to wait for the episode where Geode gets called out for sexual harassment for being hard all the time around his crewmates. You earned that one. Thank you, Andy P. Hung Arian 69 for Hung Arian. Jesus. For 2 Australian dollars. Stole idea from Galaxy Quest. Geode is rock hard. I'm going to give that to you, but that's barely. Elite Spanker for $5. Has anyone mentioned the fact that the vessel is a B-2 bomber with a gray paint job? No, but yeah, they're fucking lazy. What can we say? Al Alvarez, thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. McKinney90, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you, brother. Leo is taking a rock hard stalagmite in his crack. Oh, God. Primer. I did digging as to why these companies perpetuate wokeness despite losing money. What are your opinions? Would you consider having an audience member such as me on the show to discuss, says Culture Cope for $9.99. Maybe. What kind of digging did you do? What kind of digging did you do? Usually the show is just it's just me or me and him. If we plan something in advance, yes, we can certainly have you come on at a show, but why don't you show me what you got? Email me at gary@nerdrotic.com. Thank you, Culture Cope, for the $9.99. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's definitely we'll talk to anybody. Or I will. Leo, I already read that one. The quote to quote Galaxy Quest, it's a rock. It doesn't have any vulnerable spots. I doubt Geode will be that rock monster. We can only hope it's radioactive and ends the crew of the vessel, says Innovator SJH for $9.99. We can only hope, sir. We can only hope. Matthew Anderson for $5. If I were still a fan of Star Wars, I would be embarrassed and ashamed to say I liked it. Indeed, Star Wars has no future. It has no future. There's going to be people out there going, oh, this is great. Oh, wait till Boba Fett gets there. And listen, Boba Fett's going to get people back. It is. It's Mandalorian Season 3. Everybody needs to worry about, because if Mandalorian Season 3 doesn't work, none of this shit works. Ahsoka Tano show doesn't work. Rangers of the New Republic probably ain't happening now. Man, they fucked up. Disney was dying to have a strong female character where they could roll out and say, like, Gina Carano was everything they said they were about, and they fired her. And you don't think that even pisses off even a lot of your staunch fans are starting to hold your nose. And right now, every fucking Republican in this country is probably holding their nose. A lot of Republicans watch your shit, Disney, and they hold their nose doing it. Gina Carano just took a lot of them with her, and you need them. You fucking need them. And you will notice it. All of your shit across the board will be 15% lower, 20% lower, 30% lower, 15% lower than normal is catastrophic. Catastrophic. Fade in. Kathleen Kennedy needs to do the world a monumental favor and fade away, says Michigan Man for $95 for $9.99. There's a lot of nines there. Sorry. She does. Retire with dignity and maybe a little bit of your legacy. But as I've said before, you don't get to choose your legacy. Life does that for you. Gary, are they destroying established franchises like Star Wars and 007 on purpose to fit views on what they think society should be like today, says Lee Townsend for £5. Yes. These are simply tools to communicate their message. They are now platforms. This is no longer entertainment. It is meant to influence, when before you would stick a message in here, sneak in here. The goal of the writer used to be, I want to write a good story, so I will get a lot of adoration and get laid. That was the goal of a writer. The goal of a rock star was, I'm going to play this song the best I can on my instrument that I'm going to practice so I can get a lot of adoration and get laid. An actor goes to acting school or gets lucky. I want to get a lot of adoration to get fucking famous and rich and get laid. That's not the case anymore. It's just not the case. People just don't want to be famous anymore. They need to be influential. power, fucking power. And this is where Hollywood is going to get its ass beat, because every fucking day it's got to compete against Culture Casino, doing his little 6-minute thing in the morning, fucking Sporking News podcast, talking about a book that's never going to finish. A win's a winner. I'm really sorry, buddy. I'll come on and talk about it with you sometime soon, but that book ain't coming out, brother. Fucking it ain't coming out. Sorry, Jane. Sorry to say that. You got author Stephen Walton doing whatever he does with coffee. I don't want to get into it now, but it's, it's enema related, we'll just say. And yeah, there's a bunch of guys and gals. Jane Theory has a channel. Lorena Creel has a channel. There's a lot of up and coming YouTubers that have channels. Foul Ball Productions, Matt, Geek Blend. They got to compete against all of that shit. And quite frankly, they're better because they're genuine. What am I going to watch? Some polished fucking talk show where, how did you feel playing Spider-Man? Well, it was fun. And I've got this anecdotal story that my agent and I made up before this show that really didn't happen on the set. And then we're going to ask about some spoilers that we can't answer. And it's really fucking nothing. So that's why we're going to each other more. Because are you going to listen to Tom Holland say nothing about Spider-Man? Or are you going to tune in to a live stream where somebody might sing or tell you a story about a cocaine deal gone bad? I mean, that's what YouTube has to offer, and it's great. It's great. Or they could sing about a cocaine deal gone bad. I mean, Johnny Cash did that. Fucking Johnny Cash is God, by the way. Given where those characters are sitting, if the ship stops suddenly, the humans will be crushed by that big unsecured geo behind them. Darth Mick, you are absolutely correct. Good point, sir, for $5. Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. Is he still alive? Is Paul Orndorff still alive? Yeah, no, yeah, no, yes. Oh my fucking God. He was smart. He was smart. He got thin. He didn't get on all that fucking junk later on. And he's still alive. Look at him. Yeah, I just a little shocked because he looks fucking old. Here, I'll show you. But I used to really be in the WWF back in the day. Long time ago. And I remember WrestleMania 1. But geez, Paul Orndorff looks fucking old. There it is. And bless his heart, he's 71 years old. He wrestled. I mean, everybody's fucking dead. I mean, I was just thinking about Macho Man yesterday. I was like, I miss Macho Man. I miss the Macho Man. I miss Roddy Piper. They're all fucking dead. That's so sad. I'm glad Paul Orndorff is still alive. So let's get back to Mr. Wonderful Super Chat here. And he says, Star Wars failure is now set in stone. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to hit do it again. Elite thank you for the $2, Mr. Wonderful. Muzzle Velocity for $10. Just some funds to further the cause. Thank you. We appreciate that. Those funds go to keeping this train rolling. And we appreciate it. Believe me. Without YouTube, without you guys, we would have been kind of fucked. So I'm very grateful that this is happening. I was sitting around and talking to my old friends last night who I haven't seen some in 10 years. Some I saw a couple days ago, and it's surreal. Like, they're like, so how long have you been doing this? And how long do you plan to do it? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I mean, I've got a plan now. When I hit the state I go to have a studio and do more podcasts and stuff. But like, honestly, no, it's day by day. I didn't fucking expect to be doing this. And it's fun. It's fun. So to the people out there who like give us, again, we're not above criticism. That's fine. Criticize us. But if they think we're like this group of miserable people, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but having tons of fun. Tons of fun. You know what? Star Wars dying at this point is a blessing. Is a blessing to Star Wars fans. They don't know it. When Gina Carano firing happened, I called it The Last Jedi Part 2. All the fan disappointment without the shitty film. And nothing has changed my mind on that. Disney is down to galvanic twitching. It's a Psycho Dwarf. Galvanic twitching. Oh, okay. I mispronounced that. Sorry, Psycho Dwarf. Thank you for the $2. Commandant VHS for $2. I love how the Jedi are promoting colonialism. I do too. Colonize the shit out of that. Colonialize. Jesus, such an American. If Funko doesn't want you, that means you're really fucking bad. R.I.P. Dr. Who, says Garrett Barley for $4.99. I repeat again. I will show you the tweet. This is from Chris Kotcher. Quite frankly, I don't know who he is. No offense, Chris. They look like an awfully nice guy out there. So I'm not gonna shit or anything. I just don't know who you are. I don't know why you got a blue check mark. I am wary of you blue check marks, just to say off the top of my head. Hang on. Got to collapse those messages. There we go. A note at the bottom of an email just now from Who North America, which is supposedly a big retailer of North American Who stuff that I honestly never heard of. Funko has vaulted all Doctor Who products. It appears they may be dropping the license. No more products are available from the manufacturer, including Funko Pop figures and Pez dispensers. That's one of two. The second tweet says, this certainly doesn't reflect well regarding how Doctor Who is doing these days in pop culture, considering original Funko is still cranking out products from much lesser franchises / properties. And then listen to this guy. I'm not surprised no one's buying them. They're the biggest load of twat known to man, and I'm talking about Funko Pops. Doctor Who deserves better than them, in my opinion. I got news for you, Jack. Funko was the only one willing to fucking pay for it over here, dipshit. There was another company that decided to go out of business rather than fucking carry Doctor Who shit. I'm not supposed to say that. I was not supposed to say that. I can't tell you what name it was, but the company went out of business. They had the chance to take Doctor Who and they're like, nah, we'll just close. Nobody wants this shit. Talk to my insider today. I've got no confirmation on this, by the way. I have confirmation. Again, this is news I said earlier. It's not going to surprise you at all. Doctor Who does not have a younger audience. The younger audience is non-existent. It's the lowest it's ever been while the show airs. Rock bottom. A lot of rock bottoms today. Star Wars, rock bottom. MCU's not at rock bottom. WandaVision was a 5 out of 10. But Doctor Who's rock bottom. All right, folks. I'm going to read a couple more, then I got to go. I'm starving. I really should. Oh, is it past? Everything's closed. Oh, yeah. We don't have our curfew anymore. I might be able to go to a 24-hour taco shop. I might do that. I think I might do that. Let's go to donations real quick. Nicholas Clark for $1. What are your thoughts on the Superman and Lois hiatus? What hiatus? When did it happen? What? Oh, okay. I'm like, what the fuck? It just got fucking renewed for season 2. Yeah, I just found this out. So we're going to read this right now. There's a COVID. Well, how many shows did they have in the can? Okay, so CW announced Superman and Lois will go on hiatus after episode 5 due to production being impacted by COVID-19. Superman and Lois is off to a successful start, with the CW already announcing a second season after the premiere earned positive reaction in TV ratings, and it earned a streaming record. Superman and Lois season 1 will consist of 15 episodes, with production still underway in Canada. Still, due to recent production shutdown after a positive COVID-19 test, the series will go on a break after episode 5 on March 25th. So what are my thoughts on it? Bummer. Those are my thoughts. Supergirl's final season premiere will take Superman and Lois time slot on March 30th, which I will fucking happily skip. The CW also shared the first season of Superman and Lois is currently scheduled to make a return on May 18th. What are your thoughts on Superman and Lois so far? Sound off in the comment section below, whatever. So yeah, Koof, put it on break. So my thoughts are bummer. It could hurt the show. It could hurt the show. I hope this was I hope this wasn't a bunch of Karens panicking, right? Like somebody tested positive, but there's no symptoms or anything. Like, I understand being precautious, but then there's a bunch of Karens fucking overreacting and shit. It's only your $1 million show. Like, if you want to fuck it up, that's fine. I hope they do Doctor Strange some justice in the next movie. Doctor Strange is going to end up getting cucked by Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, who is superior, far superior than the Sorcerer Supreme, who should be teaching her shit, but they won't. She's learning herself, and she's going to destroy the world, and they'll have a battle, and Wanda will just stop battling. She'll save herself. And Doctor Strange will be in his own movie. He'll do some stuff, but he'll be a sidekick in his own fucking movie. That's my prediction. I hope I'm wrong. All right. A couple more soups. And then we're going to go. I'll get the rest on a square up. Bop, 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 bop. Where the fuck did you go? There you go. There you go. By the way, Aaron Berg, to respond to your super chat from 2 weeks ago from In Hot Water. He's asked me to be on In Hot Water, and he wanted me to be on last Thursday, and I couldn't because I was working. So I'm a huge fan of Compound Media. So I'm publicly saying I would be happy to come on In Hot Water on Compound Media. It would be a fucking honor to be on Anthony Cumia's fucking network. One of my inspirations again. Now, I wasn't big into Opie and Anthony when they were in New York. I had heard of them, but it was afterwards. It's all of Anthony Cumia's work afterwards that I love. When he started Compound Media, love that shit because I found him through Gavin McGinnis, right? And then I stayed with Compound Media. And that's where, I mean, like, God, the shit was good. The shit's been good. It's a good show. It's a good show. If you want some like real comedy where they're not afraid to say shit, Compound Media. Sam Whiskey, at least Geode is a good listener and never condescending like Mikey Spock. Good point, Sam Whiskey. Big Tex for $5. Great show, boys. Best dang duo since Roger Staubach and Drew Pearson. Tell you what, Big Tax, I remember that duo. And big text just for you. Should I end this like Dandy Dawn? Like Dandy Dawn used to end Monday Night Football. Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Turn out the lights, the party's over. No, I'm going to read a couple more. Kapla, my man, Nerdrotic, been a while. Stay awesome, bro. You too, Price is Right review. It's been a long time. Where you been? The Great Conservative for $9.99. Had to donate for the King of the Hill impersonation classic. Oh, Doomcock's got a great King of the Hill impersonation. Thank you for the super sticker. Fusion Nevo? Is it Nevo? But thank you. What is that? Is that like a... Oh, it's somebody saying you're number one. I was like, my God, it looks like a penis snail. But everything looks kind of blurry with me right now. I need to get new glasses soon. Bun $2.99 for $5. Been a nerd since I was a kid. I'm 41 now. No intention of stopping being a nerd now, no matter what they try to corrupt in nerd culture. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. Crazy Cat Guy, thank you for the not phallic unicorn, for the ice cream for $1.49, or phallic ice cream. That's a fine. Cancel Peanut for $5. Geode is just Disney. Attempt to change focus off of Gina YouTube comment flood. Then they failed. failed beyond failed. Fucking Disney Star Wars. Ichibaka, like, bottom lines this every day. Disney Star Wars is dumb. They're dumb. They're just fucking dumb. All right, ladies and gents, I gotta eat. So Michael and Sheesh and Randy and Channel Surf and Mr. Wonderful and the good Tom King. Stargate 404. I wish I could watch live, but I'm on East Coast time and I got up at 6. I don't want to hear your fucking excuses, Stargate. I really don't. No. Hail the Inquisition. Hail the Grand Inquisitors. Thank you, Stargate. And you don't have to watch it live because this will be imported over to Nerdrotic Live by tomorrow morning. So you'll be able to watch it then. I'm sorry I did this through StreamYard, so you're not going to be able to see the chat, but maybe if I screen record it. But yeah, it'll be uploaded there in the next 6 or 7 hours. You can also find all of these in audio format on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Podcasts, I believe. I think I'm on Amazon Podcasts now. I did a thing through my website, and I think I'm on the Amazon Podcast. Tell me if I am or not. You could also go to Nerdrotic Live and watch them all there, or go to nerdrotic.com, where I back up absolutely everything, and that way you can listen or watch. Do whatever you want at nerdrotic.com. Totally free. Totally free. There is memberships. If you want to join up, you get a member stream. I will be posting my member stream probably tonight from today. We did a member stream for 2 hours. I will be doing a Doctor Who video, which should be done by tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to be going live again, but it's not going to be at 11 because this one went late. So I'm probably, if I go live again, it'll be like 2 o'clock tomorrow. Tuesday. God, I'm doing something Tuesday and I can't remember. But I'll remember back then. But Wednesday at 11 a.m. for sure. The Nerdrotic Nooner will be at 11 a.m. and sometime tomorrow afternoon. Of course, Friday Night Tights this Friday. Have no idea who the guest is. I'll have it figured out in the next 24 hours. And yeah, we'll just keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Love you guys. Thank you for all your support. I am eternally grateful to you all. Thank you for the birthday wishes for Mrs. Nerdrotic. For Doomcock, please subscribe to Doomcock, my good friend. Congratulations to Uche for getting that interview with Zack Snyder and the Geeks and Gamers crew. And I'm really happy for fucking Ryan and Lethal and Uche. They've been rooting like hell for this. So I hope it's everything they want it to be. And hopefully they have something cool. Maybe I'll bid on it during the auction. Maybe I'll bid on it. If I get more news on that, I'll let you know. I was going to do a charity thing. It got kind of buggered. I was saying this. I don't want him to feel bad. I don't want him to feel bad because he doesn't need to feel bad. But it got buggered by Friday Night Tights. Yeah. I guess the board of the charity went and watched Friday Night Tights, and they said they don't want anything to do with me now. So to that, I say, I will give to another charity. It's very unfortunate that the kids are going to suffer because you have delusions of moral grandeur. I'm not really sure, but I want to make sure those kids get that money anyway, despite any pompous, pretentious board member who can't hand a couple little cuss words and a couple of little jokes about the ladies. I'll let you know that one in the future, but yeah, it's a bummer. It was a bummer. It's the way it goes, though. Not going to edit anybody on Friday Night Tights. So thanks, everyone. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat. You help keep the lights on around here. Thanks to everyone who took your time out of your day to enjoy a little babbling, a little evening babbling. And we're just going to end this one abruptly tonight. So not all who wander are lost, and you bow to no one. Ciao, Bella.